But that's
if
my
we were
job.
professional streamers, we'd actually have like a coming soon.
We would have like a coming soon sort of a thing. We would also be using our Twitter and our Discord more for announcements.
Mhm.
But we'll get there eventually.
Or we won't. I mean, those are our options.
I mean, we really should.
Fine, I won't be doing that.
Oh, we should. Okay.
But yeah. Alright, well now I have to figure out if there's a convenient way
Oh, Critical Role, that's the wrong channel.
to get book 5 on here. Because I need it. Because I reread the intro. And I want to use the... You have a Pirate Council meeting.
Oh, nice.
It was a really well written one.
Ooh.
I just didn't like any of the stuff you did after that. And I forgot that last session. Last session also ran really late.
It did, yeah.
Just a tiny bit.
So I'm going to try and get book 5 on here right quick.
Well, we finally
Okay.
took care of that Zog and Queen and whichever Scourge or Plug it was. I can't remember which one.
Mr. Plug.
I remember which one we sold to slavery and which one came back to try to kill us.
Mr. Plug got away and Scrooge got sold into slavery.
Yep.
Ah, SS, Scourge Slavery. Got it.
Oh, hey guys, we're live.
What?
Hold on. Oh no.
Rookie move.
Rookie mistake.
That volume, bro. Gotta turn that down.
Okay. I'm making progress.
Ooh, an ad that supports Twitch.
Yeah, I don't know if we get that revenue. Okay. Skull and Shackles. Book 5.
So I know the function of brakes is to turn momentum and energy into heat energy, but I don't know if they're supposed to do it quite like that.
No.
You're on fire. It's a little too much.
That's
or
going in, and that's not how you want to be using that.
a little too much energy, maybe.
That's what I described.
Yeah, basically. Just a little, maybe a little too much heat energy right there.
It's like, oh. But
No,
hey, you know
it's
what?
perfectly reasonable.
I put flames on
at
it so
least
it
now
goes
you-
faster.
At least now you
we were
can
trying to-
definitely tell they're working.
At least we know they're working.
So why are they on fire? So you know they're working.
Duh.
But do they need to be on fire to work? No. I just like the visual.
But if they're not on fire, you're really just guessing at that point.
Yeah.
They're not there working. So, I mean, I feel like I like this better. This guy's on fire.
And I feel like just a sensor on your dashboard might get overlooked, where the fire probably
Right,
won't.
There's tons of sensors. Plus, we have a sensor for fires. So really, 2 birds, 1 stone.
This is true.
Highly effective. This is fine.
This is fine.
Oh, good.
Just like that thing. Yeah, I think
Exporting
we're
to
good.
Gmail. Send to myself.
When I was
It
growing
is
up,
now
one
on
of
the
my favorite
Ethersphere.
documentaries I watched was a 6-7 part series on making the 777 airliner, just from like conception to design to actually entering service. It was pretty cool, but that was one of my favorite ones where they were going over their flight testing at Edwards Air Force Base and just like all of the things that they were trying to do. My favorite test was they went and is their biggest stress test. They would accelerate to just at the point of being able to take off, and then they would
Okay.
slam on the brakes completely. And they're like, "Yeah, we know this is actually going to set them on fire." The point of this test is you have to then have it stand for 15 minutes with the undercarriage burning and make sure that it doesn't actually burn to the ground.
Like, it's gonna catch on fire. How do we make it catch on fire safely?
Exactly.
That's the important
Yeah,
bit.
you're like, so yeah, you have to stand there for 5 minutes, which is what we estimate is about an average response time for a fire crew before they can start cooling that off.
Sure. Wow, that's funny.
That's what. So you're watching
Okay.
it. It just goes accelerate.
Now there are 2
Yeah.
whole files in the entirety of this computer.
Woo, starts breaking, and you can see that the camera zooms in on the wheels, and you're like, oh, they're
Oh,
just
this
kind
is
of
getting plugged in. It's fucking now.
Oh, is it almost dead, boy?
Yeah.
Trouble.
Is it this side? It's this side because it's inconvenient. Because it's right next to where all the things plug in.
Yep.
Here we go. That's right. Okay. Last time we did some custom content stuff and got you a cool boat.
Yeah. Cool
Yeah.
boats.
This time we're gonna take a brief journey back to the book.
I got a weird skeleton boat. Really cool skeleton. Yeah. Alright guys, got a cool boat. See y'all.
Slowly, 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 slowly scrolling.
Rock had to make a new character.
Why? Because this old character got a really cool boat and he ran with it. But what was why was he allowed to do that? He was a free captain and a member of the Power Council, so there's nothing stopping him.
So I'm pretty sure.
Do his stuff.
So this is canonically supposed to happen.
Before last episode?
And no, just an unspecified amount of time right after it.
Okay.
It doesn't say
That's all of
immediately
them,
after,
right?
so
Yeah.
I figured we had some time for them to go back and tell everybody, and now we're actually getting word from them.
Crispy.
So I'm pretty sure when we did the whole dinner thing, we got the best result possible,
Yes.
which was a seat for everybody here. I don't remember if you guys have the right to vote. I don't remember.
You are on this council, but you are not given the right to vote.
Yeah, you're too new.
Yeah.
So you're privy to all information, but your voice doesn't matter until you're more relevant.
Wow.
Because any one of the pirate lords that showed up to your dinner could have won be the party,
Yeah. Right.
as evident by the little Miss Duelist.
Yeah. One being
Disarm, 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 disarm.
is great.
Thank you, combat maneuvers.
So yes,
It's just doing its job. Oh no.
yeah, it just mentions that you should have earned at least a single seat in the council, even if you didn't earn the right to vote. And I don't remember the right to vote being an actual thing you were allowed. I'm pretty sure it was you still don't get to vote, but you know.
Details.
Um,
Details.
You know what? If we didn't all get a seat, they gave the one person we had the right to vote because then they feel bad.
So shortly after returning your new
Just thought that one's better.
your new ship to port, you get word that the Pirate Council is having their first meeting since you've been included.
Yay.
Nice. Cool.
So you guys putt over to Port Barrow. The Pirate Council meets in a large chamber located in Fort Hazard itself. And that's the one you guys went to when you met Hurricane King. The Hurricane King typically sits at the head of a long oaken table in an overly ostentatious chair with a high back carved with images of sea monsters coiled around ships, while 30 smaller, less extravagant, but still rather comfortable chairs are positioned around the table, 15 each side. No one sits at the far end of the table, where a second enormous chair sits. This chair is reserved for Miss Mara herself,
Ooh.
should she ever decide to attend.
Wow, that bitch been skipping out for us for how long?
Long enough for her to sneeze. It's been a really bad allergy season in Godland, and she just had there's one big coughing and sneezing fit for the entire time the Shackles has been a thing.
Where do you think that
The eye of terror.
has come from?
The eye of the maelstrom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
The strum of mail?
What do you think really happened to Aslant?
Sneak shoot. Food and alcohol are served in quantity during a pirate council. The meal is quite fine, serving almost as a bribe to encourage the pirate lords to attend in the first place. Several other smaller tables sit against the walls of the room. These are for minor pirate lords who do not actually have votes, but are still welcome to provide feedback and opinions during the meeting.
Oh, good. The kitty table.
You head to the kids' table.
Yay! I really like the idea of it being like a tiny little fold-out table where it's like our knees are like slamming against the top.
Oh my God.
Just like an actual kid's table.
Do the lesser pirate lords have anything to say?
Just like just stuffing my face.
Well,
with mashed
actually,
potatoes.
Sorry, you have to speak up. We can't hear you all the way over there.
Well, actually,
If we could get some taller tables, it's given. No, this
or
table's
some
fine.
Tylenol.
Stepping on me. Do.
Skiven's like, this table's perfect. I have to get a booster seat normally.
A typical council meeting begins a half hour before the food and rum is served, and typically lasts for an hour and a half. A half hour after the meal begins. So it's an hour in total with
Joel, there's cat.
dinner served halfway through.
Okay. Cool.
Eventually, the Hurricane King calls the council to an end by rising and declaring the meeting adjourned, usually leaving more than a few agenda items on the table for the next meeting. This is just a brief overview. There's the list of that's not enough pirate lords.
No, it's enough.
There's
That's just
30
the ones
chairs
you-
and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people who show up.
Wow.
It's a whole lot less people than you'd expect. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm pretty sure there's close to. I don't think there is 30 major pirate lords. I think the seats are open to incentivize people to be good enough to get there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's 30 possible lords as opposed to.
At least at this time, until they need to expand.
Crap. Okay, you guys all have voting rights.
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
It says depending on their results, their success in the Island of Empty Eyes, they may have 1 vote, no votes, or they might have all earned voting rights. If that's the potential, you guys got that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
We get to vote.
We get to go to the adults.
This is
table.
the silly part where it's if the PCs have only 1 vote, then only one of them is allowed to sit at the table, and the rest have to sit at the kitty table.
See,
Solid.
that would be funny and annoying.
Bye, Skiven. See you later.
We'll be behind. We'll be like your cheerleaders.
Now I do have to get a booster seat though.
So for this meeting, there are 11 pirate lords who are not yourselves. So there are
Sweet,
15
Okay.
in total currently. These include several of people that you know. Tessa Fairwind is here.
Mm-hmm.
Aranax Endymion,
Mm-hmm.
the Master of Gales. I think Avamar Sornash, Cersei Bloodmorn, and Mace Doramar all showed up to your.
Yeah, those are the 3.
Yeah.
I think those are the 3 that showed up here, Shindig.
Yeah.
Do you have a DC? No. We're just gonna make some rolls.
I'm guessing in the 11 included the Hurricane King.
Yes.
Who's yours?
No.
No.
No, there's not.
Oh, okay.
Right. I guess technically, yeah. He's
Alright.
not a pirate lord. He's the pirate king. But it does say there's 20 empty chairs with 11 lords. So that would imply
Yeah, that
that he
would,
counts
okay.
as 1.
Okay.
Okay, so a few other pirates you guys may or may not know of in attendance are. Just start rolling. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 checks.
So 31.
What are we doing? No, local ability?
Local.
You said how many 4 checks?
4.
Uh,
So don't give me another check.
31 for me.
Okay, I'm gonna read them out one at a time.
Oh yeah, I got 32 in the first one.
Okay, so you guys have heard of. I'll read all the captains at once. So, who's your second one?
33.
So it's Mona, 33, and you guys both want to roll.
And 32.
Okay. Yeah, 2 more.
That one is only a 22.
And that's 17 for me.
Okay, you don't know that one.
Oh no, 21. I was so close to the 20.
And that one's a 28.
Okay, so there's only one you don't know.
12, 14, 2, 3.
So, they have an actual list of voting pirate lords.
Mm-hmm.
Their race, home port, and kind of like about the personality. They call it affectations. So you guys know of Aranax. Met Avamar. Pretty sure Cerise is the disarm lady.
Mm-hmm.
The first the ones that you may or may not know of is Delmona Bure. She's a good pirate.
Like
Like
good as
good.
in alignment.
I like it.
Nice.
She's a human. Her home port is Lillywhite, which I don't know where that is because I haven't noticed it on the map at all.
Fair.
It's probably one of the little dots. But you know she is a big advocate against slavery.
Oh.
Okay.
She is very well spoken and always enjoys entertaining others. She prefers to be the host, basically.
Okay.
Hard Luck Massey. He is a human male from Pex. He is quick-tempered. I don't know what swaggers would technically mean in the context of the game.
His
I
description
think-
says
yeah.
swagger.
Swaggers. So I imagine he walks a lot like Jack Sparrow.
Probably, yeah. That seems fair.
Mm-hmm. So I imagine it's the Shakespearean, he walks with swagger. He walks with an air of confidence like he owns the place. And he is, since the moment you walked in here, smoking a cigar.
That's
know him?
basically what swagger is defined by there, and a very confident,
Well,
and
yeah,
typically
but
arrogant
it's-
and aggressive gains or manner.
It's the Shakespearean or the
Yeah.
pop culture. And this could very well have both.
Uh-oh, owl eyes.
Owls.
Hi.
What up, Xanaxes? You don't know that one, but you do know Wide Olga.
Ooh.
She's
That doesn't sound good.
she's a female human.
Okay.
The only one you don't recognize is a male halfling. One of the few non-humans.
Oh, fair enough.
The other two are half-elves.
Okay.
But you know Wide Olga, she comes from a port called Oyster Cay. She's a big lady.
Quickly.
And with an even bigger smile. They call her, it says toothy grin on here.
Oh.
And she is foul-mouthed by sailor standards.
That's impressive.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. There are, before I leave, so Kodak will call this session into session. There are 5 issues on the bill. They do not all need to be resolved today. As I mentioned in like the actual description of it, kind of background stuff that you guys all knew.
Yeah.
From your friends filling you in on how these things kind of work. You get as many as you can. Anything you can't, you don't really sweat it. We'll have another meeting.
Okay. Fair enough.
Good, more food.
So, I'm going to read this section for you guys. It's important. To influence a vote, depending on how you guys want to. So you're really going to think of how you want to influence this and what you want to influence. A PC must make a bluff, diplomacy, or intimidate check. The DC varies between the issues, and it can change based off who's against you.
Mm-hmm.
You can sway the vote by 1 in any direction of your choice, aye or nay, A or nay. Effectively moving 1 vote from one side to the other, so you're convincing people to move. Each issue can be influenced up to 3 times in this manner. Once for bluff, once for diplomacy, and once for intimidate. Additionally, you guys can aid each other in these checks.
So each attempt is for 1 vote, and you can do it once in each.
Yeah, you get 1 bluff check, 1 diplomacy, and 1 intimidate per issue.
Oh wow.
Each success moves it 1. Oh, some of these are like a 10 to 1 kind of a deal. So depending on how many you guys have move over.
Mm-hmm.
And is that are those 3 attempts shared between all of us?
It's the whole party.
Okay, cool.
The party, as with their votes, because your votes are all going to go in the same way because you guys are going to discuss this.
Yeah.
And you guys may not actually agree. That'd be really fun.
That way.
If you guys have your own opinions and be event members, because not all of you are going to agree. Some of these issues are pretty fucking heated.
Awesome.
I like it.
It should be good.
However, you guys can rely on your reputation, and if you are going to use reputation, it has to be for the whole group. I'm going to say if the group is divided on an issue, you can't use your group's reputation one way or the other.
That makes sense.
That way you're not in a reputation fight.
So that would get weird.
So you can spend a point of disrepute. You can shift a single vote from one side to the other.
spend a point, like bye-bye?
Disrepute goes down permanently by 1.
Oh, wow.
You can spend as much disrepute as you want in this way.
Wait.
But again, it is a score that comes up regularly, so be careful.
We have 12
Let's not dump it.
disrepute at this point.
I don't think we've actually had a chance to use disrepute yet.
There are things in my book that go up or down.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
So
interesting.
if you guys are well renowned, things change.
Makes sense.
And disrepute is your ability to call in favors and help you with stuff. And if you have a certain amount, things just kind of automatic.
Yay.
So if you had no disrepute, certain people who are your friends wouldn't really lend you favors anymore. Just because I'm just giving certain ones on default. Because good role playing, good interactions with those NPCs, they're friendly. But the moment that you guys aren't, you know, important enough, essentially, for them to stop what they're doing and help you.
Yeah.
So, oh, you're back.
Bye.
Alright, so I think we should have
Understand.
signals, like a little tug on the left of the nose is we want to vote yay. A tug on the right of the nose is we want to vote nay.
What if I do this?
Fuck you, you're out.
I mean, what if I just say, how about we vote this way?
Why can't we just have a group huddle?
Hold up.
Okay, okay, team us, we need to huddle while we're voting.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but if I want to vote a certain way, my plan is just to vote a certain way. So
That's fair.
hopefully we all agree.
Fingers crossed.
Well, at least you can get more bubblegum from the store.
I mean, oh, yeah.
And depending on, like, if you were to get the,
While you're out there, make sure to get some Tim Tams.
if you guys have the big old rolls of like the 6 feet of bubble gums, you could probably kick those a lot. The containers are pretty durable.
Yeah.
But I imagine if you just get like individual sticks and kick them, they're not nearly as durable, and they're probably going to break a lot easier.
Who knows?
We have to make a store run now, guys, to test.
Hold up, we'll be back.
Hold up, we'll be back.
Perfect.
Yeah, got Tim Tams.
Our channel's now just going to turn into movable cameras and us being outside and kicking bubble gum and.
Well, let's only do that half. The other half might get us kicked off Twitch.
Well, I think what we do then is we'll just have the 7X's intermission app where it's just
Intermission,
yeah,
like.
where it's just yeah, and kicking over 7X's. It's just her kicking up bubble gum. And back to the game. And we're here.
It
You
sounds
know-
like a great intro when we start our stream.
It doesn't specify what type of ass it is, so it could be like pork ass or something.
I mean, you could be chewing on some donkey meat.
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
Fair enough.
I'm glad that we have support for these.
Well, on the plus side, 7 is down.
7's down.
Well,
Well, that's because she's in Australia, so like it's upside down.
Python.
Fair.
Now for something completely different.
That's the spirit.
Gotta keep it interesting, guys.
So instead of just awkwardly sitting here talking during bathroom breaks,
Yeah.
we just kick it over to bubblegum kicking during bathroom breaks.
I like it.
Sounds great.
Little reenacting Monty
We'll work
Python
on that.
sketches. I still think my favorite one is it's like it starts out and it's just randomly like this scene of pirates like they're rowing a boat onto a beach and they get a chest and they're like sneaking, and then it's John Cleese at the desk. And now for something completely different in the intro. It's amazing.
I haven't seen that. I mean, it's hard to beat the argument one.
I could get half an hour. No, you didn't.
This isn't an argument, it's a contradiction. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Alright, that'll be this much money.
Alrighty. Let's get your guys' first Pirate Council meeting underway.
Right.
Perfect.
If I had a gavel, I'd give it to you.
That would be too loud for a stream. I could mind. Issue number 1, increased shares for the Island of Empty Eyes.
Ooh.
That's us.
That is us.
Yes.
Normally, a new pirate lord earns only a quarter share of the tithes from Sargava. Some of the pirate lords are impressed enough, they think you guys should earn full shares.
Ooh.
This issue is brought to the forefront by Tessa Fairmond, who believes you are worthy of full shares of the tithe rather than a standard quarter share for new lords, based off your impressive party and dealing with the eel.
Yeah.
She is supported by Aranax Delamona, the Master of Gales,
Ooh.
and her opponent is Kurdak Bonefist himself.
The Hurricane King.
Yeah. That's the one.
Who isn't impressed with you guys and thinks you guys should just go through the same multi-year proving period as everybody else.
I can't say blame him for that.
Mhm.
I'll be dead by then, probably. I'm a rat out. Probably a young race.
Wouldn't be surprised.
So what we had, Tessa, Aranax, Delmona, and one other.
It's 4-7. I have all the scores, so you don't have to keep track of anything.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was just interested.
I have 4. It's so they all vote before you guys, so that you guys can actually see. So I'm assuming you guys are going to vote aye. Give you guys
Aye
more
on
money.
this
Which
one.
makes
Yeah.
it
9-7.
No.
Wait,
$7?
4, 7, 8, 7.
8-7. Let's up to the 8-7.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. The issue passes. Party gets 12 grand.
Oh. Sweet. I would just
This
put
amounts to
notes
an
for now.
immediate payment of 12 grand to the party. Everybody had 4 grand in your character sheet.
That works too.
I don't know why you would just 3 grand. Sorry.
Three grand,
That's
yeah.
how the math works, yeah.
Pencil.
Everybody had 3 grand in your character sheet. Whereas a quarter share would have been 3 grand.
Yeah, that's how the math works.
It says it right there.
Math is difficult sometimes.
A stoner druid? Is that like Radagast the Brown?
No, that's a shroom druid.
Yeah.
Radagast is out of his fucking mind. Brock, do you have one of these, by the way?
Well, it depends on which version you're
Shit's
going
called-
with.
I've only
I
seen the
wouldn't be
one
surprised if I do.
movie.
He's a lot more
It's
competent
motivated
to
watching
play.
those.
Yeah, that's what I've gathered from the one time.
It's
So
a
I
Like,
might have
force
he's
it.
definitely
card
still
that I
like
just don't want to go
the
pay for.
nature of
If
that.
I have it all
Well,
in
like,
color, it
he's
should be
not like
alphabetized,
some
so it'd be easy to find.
It
nutty
gives
person
minutes,
with a
and I want
weird,
to put it in Miri.
with a weird
That's
slang.
pretty good.
Just
Especially
another one of the
Miri.
atrocities of those movies.
Oh. That's so dumb.
Like he wasn't rolling around like.
Hey, you have to
bird
have
shit
two
on
dudes
it.
with blocking.
Like-
Only one dude can block a turn.
He was just around.
Yeah. I noticed that was a big problem with Miri, was I had to keep up with dinos and I couldn't handle the power of dinos.
Chum mixed with the dude.
So a
I
chitin,
If you text that to me, I can try to
a
remember
chitinous
the
cloak.
That would have died.
I'll just ask you after stream.
That works too.
A chitinous cloak would have really helped in this scenario.
Yeah.
Issue number 2. The use of Sagavan tithe for public works. Using some of the Mun-Muns to do good stuff. The bulk of the funds from the Sagavan tithe are supposed to go toward the improvement and port defense of Port Peril itself. As kind of like the capital of the nation that you guys are on the committee to run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Makes sense.
That's essentially what the Pirate Council is. You run a country.
Is
Right.
it basically the government?
You are the government.
Yeah, we are the government. We've become politicians.
We are an
You were
oligarchy.
politicians.
Oh, weird.
You are the bourgeoisie.
Oh god.
Don't worry, the birds work for you.
It sounds
Oh,
like
you're right.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. I guess we're not using the map for a while, so.
Birds.
I think Cook's a good thing to have in the map. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of pumpkin.
What? That's
Yeah, I'm a big fan of pumpkin flavored stuff.
Damn it! I never told Margie that those cookies were delicious. Austin, please tell me.
If only there was a way.
Delicious.
No, you can't tell her. It's forever lost.
So,
Send out a carrier pigeon.
Yeah, don't you know that every time we say Margie, it's a different Margie? So if you miss your chance to say something, it's gone.
That explains so much.
Oh, I
no, I'm
get
just
it.
thinking of the sisters from Magical Index.
Oh, I never got past like the 3 episodes that we watched that one day.
Oh, it's. I'm not watching a lot of TV right now. It's my go-to show.
It's so good, right?
It's really fun, but the fact that it keeps switching between 2 plots just fucks my head up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, hey, the sorcerer plot index. Hey, look at this girl. She's really powerful. She shoots stuff with her hand. Pew!
Yep.
Huh.
Although the sorcerers are doing stuff again.
They did the same thing in Scientific Railgun, except the balance is swapped,
Mm.
basically.
It's more towards the espers than the sorcerers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised it has the balance. The whole world's set up like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's science, and people who they don't explain how the espers get their powers, but they just say it's through science.
Science.
People figured out a way to like kind of sort of give people superpowers,
Mm-hmm.
but not really precisely. And magic's also
Through genetics, I think.
Yeah.
How they went about it.
Because
Because
neither
you're
of-
eventually supposed to manifest them if things work
Work
appropriately.
right. I don't think the main character's parents have powers.
No, I
I
don't
think
think
they're
so.
espers. But so normally most of the taxes go to making port payroll, when he's in place,
Makes sense.
and making that port defense super good, as well as upgrading the Shackles fleet. And I imagine it goes in that order.
Mhm.
Priority number 1 is city improvement, priority number 2 is defense, priority number 3 is Shackles. But Cerise Bloodmorn,
The good one.
which is instead to have a large amount of funds go toward the creation of towering statues in all the Shackles major ports in honor of the Hurricane King. Anyone who has mention in it, roll sense motive.
What do I have as sense motive? I have a 17. So I rolled a 3, so I
I
only
got
got
a
45.
Okay.
Thanks.
I rolled
I
that
got
right
rocked.
So I rolled 2 3s tonight.
I don't have ranks in it, but bards.
Yeah. So, you realize she's just trying to blow smoke up
Yeah.
Hurricane King's ass and doesn't actually care one way or the other. So she jumps up, starts arguing that placing the visage of our tremendous leader in every port will only increase the infamy of the Shackles. It can only be a good thing. And the Master Gil stands up, being one of the only pirates who isn't fucking afraid of the terrifying, gun-wielding, bone-handed man on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
He openly points out how fucking ridiculous and how much of a waste of money that would be. Like, what the fuck?
I don't imagine that would be a very good use of resources.
One would think that spending them on wiser pursuits such as improving our fleets and our defenses as well as our public works would increase the
I don't feel like fear of our king is in question at the moment, so why
Agreed.
bother putting resources towards something that's already quite well known? What will it add?
So, when they call for the votes, the Master of Gales is the only no.
So it sounds like, are you guys? So mechanically speaking, we get 1 bluff, 1 diplomacy, and 1 intimidate if we are wanting to change it.
Yep.
So that's 10 to 1 before us.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are trying to change the votes,
It would
what
cost
would you
disrepute.
be using? Bluff. Well, you said we can do the roll without using disrepute.
And that would shift it from 10 to 1, which is if you guys all said no, it'd be a 10 to 5. You'd still need 5 votes with 3 skill checks.
Right.
All I'm
and
saying
that
is in
would
the
take
end, you'd
2
have to use
that would take
disrepute.
2
Well, we would
roll
need-
disrepute for that.
So it'd
that
be,
would
it'd be 10 to 5. We would need to sway 3 people to go 7 to 8 in our favor.
There you go.
Okay, so yeah, we
Yeah.
could
If
potentially
they
do it.
fail,
We could potentially do it without.
yeah.
So,
I'd
what say ye?
Well, I say no.
Okay. So how do all of you vote? Spencer?
No.
Do you want us to do our rolls before we vote, or just say how we're voting?
You have to say how you're voting.
Vote first.
I will say no.
Nay.
Okay. The Hurricane King absolutely loves his fucking idea
I'm
and
sure he
eyes you guys
does.
very like bitches. Bitches. So,
I'd like to roll a bluff check to influence the other pirate lords, if I may.
okay.
I should also like to try and assist him.
Are you aiding his bluff? Is it diplomacy? No, you're doing bluff, yeah.
Yeah. You may
So our aids do not hinder Spencer or I doing intimidate and diplomacy, right?
No, it's anybody can help anybody else do it. This is through the course of a great big discussion's happening, but I don't want to be.
40.
Okay.
Thank you, Bard.
I'll aid. I don't have to roll. I have a 26 to bluff.
That didn't actually really aid them much.
Scary enough. Before you guys aided, not a whole lot of passing. Not a whole. They didn't pass by a whole lot.
Oh wow.
So you swayed 1.
Okay.
And you want to try and intimidate?
Yeah,
or,
I'll do diplomacy. And I'm sitting there,
I'll try to assist
and
as well.
Skibbin is going to say,
And you have the diplomacy thing that ups for not gathering info. The other part of diplomacy.
oh no. So my diplomacy is no, yeah.
You have both. There's one that ups it for gathering information.
Mine
And
is
there's
the
one.
non-gather information. So diplomacy for social interactions is what
Okay.
I have.
Oh.
So
There's
I'm
one
gonna
for
say
each.
that
Actually, I looked at that. That makes sense though.
whereas putting up statues that remind us who is the king of the Shackles may be a good idea, I think as
Tessa will cut you
Carla.
off.
Mm-hmm.
No one needs reminding.
very true, but I do think that improving our public works to show the love of the Hurricane King across the Shackles.
You hear a lot of laughter through the table right then. And you mentioned the L word.
Oh,
The
no.
L word.
The L word. Dang it, maybe. Maybe.
Adoration.
Adoration.
Fear is the word you're looking for.
The L
That just
word.
looks at you and just like,
I've seen that show. It's about lesbians.
yeah, Jordan used to watch it a lot.
She did used to watch it a
I
lot.
remember
Well,
being
all right,
I'll
very
jab
hungover.
you in the side. Act fear and respect next time.
Yeah, so improving the public works to make it so that the Shackles can continue to grow, I think would be a great way to improve the already tremendous adoration of the Hurricane King. So I will use one of my once per day's free rolls for diplomacy. I have 3.
I'll
They
say
like
that
that.
you can only use it once per thing.
I got 19 on the die, plus my 20. No, what do I have for diplomacy? 23 is 42.
Okay.
And there's 26 for me to aid.
So that's 44.
Okay. One more.
Alright.
And we got intimidate.
I do, because I can put bluff and diplomacy into intimidate. Right. So,
Yeah, rock.
Roll that intimidate.
So, and my argument is definitely fancy statues are fine and dandy, but they can become markers of someone who is feared and respected, or belittled and thought of as a footnote if not properly defended.
So I have to actually roll for the 8 on intimidates.
Anyway, that's a 30.
I got a 21 to aid.
I got a 10 to 8.
I got a 10 to 8.
So that's
I went
36
at
in
12.
total.
You moved it over.
Oof.
The names have it. Nothing changes.
Guys, we're good at politics. I think the Hurricane King might be a bit mad at us, but we're good at
Oh,
politics.
yeah, he's staring daggers at you.
Oh, I can believe it.
He fucking hates you. Letting it pass was a bad thing.
I'm sure.
I figured it was.
Mhm.
It sounds like it wasn't like I played Civilization and shit like that. Building statues of yourself is not.
It wouldn't affect you at all.
But it would have
You
just
guys
would
have
have
done-
benefited us.
What does benefit you? Say no.
Huh.
Literally nothing changes for them, so you guys don't lose any money.
Yeah.
That's the small chunk that gets you guys give it out to you guys no matter what.
Yeah.
No, it just makes 2 things you guys don't fucking do harder.
Oh.
You never haggle in pork to increase the price of plunder, because we just take the average, it's easier.
Mm.
And you guys don't hire squads.
Mm.
You don't hire NPCs.
So him being mad at us would
No,
make
that
those-
was the direct result of the spending.
Mhm.
Whether or not he likes you was outside this room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was just no one's going to be willing to pay more money for plunder if we're already spending so much on everything else.
Oh.
Yep.
There is no money to give you.
Exactly.
Issue number 3. The Declaration of Rights of Salvage.
Ooh.
Avamar Soranash is the champion of this one, who I believe is the one that showed up. Yeah, he's the Wolverine guy.
Okay.
Fucking
yeah.
mutton chop boy who showed up at your party.
He was the one that had to shoot the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually got slipped some aphrodisiacs.
That's true.
He asks for 20% tithe of all plunder taken from the Isle over the next 12 months. For this. With all the whispering and stories being told of the Isle of the Black Tower and the magical sword Aeger's Kiss that is said to be lost inside, Avamar Sornash wants Olo to be granted salvage rights over the island and its waters, as Olo is the closest significant settlement to the isle in question.
And is that his island?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's his port.
So he's just talking about because he's like the closest
Because
governing body.
that
county,
shit is his.
Yeah.
More of, yeah. The salvaging rights, anything claimed from that should go to him. So he is asking for 20% basically of all plunder taken from that isle over the next year. His opponent is a man who introduces himself as Jolas Raffles.
The one we don't know. Yes.
Halfling?
The halfling.
Who brings up that the last time such a proposition was brought to this table, the council shot it down without a second thought. Because it was his idea.
Oh.
I don't have.
And if we are announcing declarations of rights of salvage to one pirate lord, we should be announcing them to all pirate lords.
I don't have history, but can I make a local check to see what that was about?
No.
Okay.
I can make it.
You failed for Jolas Raffles, so all things involving Jolas Raffles.
Okay.
And that was a council meeting thing.
So we wouldn't have known.
You have no idea about.
Okay.
I guess knowledge local, I'm interested not in him, but in what are the current kind of salvage rights.
All salvage goes to the tithe, and then the tithe is divvied up.
Okay.
Nobody gets an actual cut, anywhere at all.
So that's
It's
any like shipwrecks, anything?
everything. So it's just all things that are recovered are taxed, basically.
Okay.
All income in the entirety of the Shackles, should it be found out, must be paid a tithe on. Period. That tithe is then put into one giant pile. That pile is divvied up based off their current spending.
And so he's wanting a 20%.
So he wants a 20%. He asks for 20% tithe of all plunder taken from that isle. So before it's taxed for the Shackles, he wants 20% of everything that comes out of that isle, because he's close.
Oh, so it'd be 20% to him, and then what's remainder gets taxed.
Gets taxed after that. And Jolas Raffles points out that he made a similar request during their last council meeting, being voted down, and doesn't think it'd be fair for the other pirates lords to succeed where he did not. But more importantly, if we're going to do it to one, we have to do it to all. If we're going to enact salvage rights for people who are close by, very profitable spots, then we need to do it all across the board.
Yeah, just geographically set up the entire Shackles and say this is this district, this is this district.
Yep. So it basically would be, the current way it is, it's finders keepers.
Yeah.
If you were at that aisle near his place, he doesn't get any part of what you spent your time to get, but what you do get eventually works its way back to the tithe. What he's suggesting is, this is my territory, anything found in my territory I get a part of before it goes to the greater whole.
So the first thing we'd be voting for is just the initial yay or nay, and then maybe moving on if that's.
So the issue at hand is only,
Does he get
does
salvage?
Avamar Soranash get it?
Right.
And Jolas is like, fuck, no, we shouldn't. Because nobody else has ever gotten that.
Right.
Which I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, I see no reason to change it.
Okay.
I might want to go get that sword.
Yeah, right. So you can throw it at people?
Yes.
Wait, hold on, no, hold on a second. You don't throw swords.
So it was
He's
pretty.
can.
It was pretty split. It was a 6-5, and you guys make it a 6-9.
Ah.
The nays have it.
Okay.
The Isle of the Black Tower remains in a finder's keeper's state, and the plunder and loot taken from the isle require no tithe to booty butts. Well, they require no tithe at all. You as pirate lords pay like an annual fee.
We're good,
Oh, okay.
we're good
Really?
politicians, guys.
Yeah.
So far, we have allowed only things that benefit us to pass.
I see what you did there.
Just think about reputation here.
You know, they say that the best compromises are where neither party are happy afterwards. We didn't get statues of ourselves everywhere.
We did
so.
show up and kind of take up like 20 to 30% of
There
be
was
yeah. So long as we all
there
agree,
was 11
things
people,
get-
and now it's 15 people because so we only have just over a quarter of it.
So,
Pretty damn close to 30%, actually.
Yeah.
Just about. That's funny how that works.
Closer to a third, I think, than a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying
You said over a quarter. I'm saying it's closer to a third.
Hard Luck Macy. He brings up your fourth issue of this meeting. The declaration of Scraggs Rotgam as an outlaw.
Who's this?
The name's come up before.
Also, Hard Luck Macy declares that he has it on good word that Scraggs Rotgam has been engaging in unsanctioned piracy against Sargovan vessels. And he wants Scraggs and his ship, the Devilish Duchess, to be declared outlaws. What did you roll in locals?
27.
21. 33.
Okay, Spencer knows. Hey, I don't know a whole lot about that Captain Barnabas Harrigan guy, but I think that was one of his first mates. I think it was his former first mate.
So we definitely want him an outlaw. Got it.
Former.
I know.
So Spencer knows that
How did they part
Scraggs
ways?
was kicked out of the ship,
Oh.
and this was a little while ago.
So, and he's being outlawed because he's attacking Sahagins?
Sargovan is
Sargovan.
a country.
Yeah.
So, yes. And Hard Luck.
That's what I was really confused about the entire time.
So Hard Luck Macy says, and he claims that he has it on good authority. You want to say what authority, but he says he has it on good authority that Scraggs Rotgam is committing unsanctioned piracy.
Isn't that all piracy?
Pirates would never take someone
He's
else's.
just like.
It's piracy without without intention to give us a cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing it without.
So he's doing it without the approval of the council. Also, I don't know the particular political relations between Sargava and the Shackles. They might actually have like a agreement.
Yeah.
The only one that you're not going to see an agreement to ever is Shellyax.
Right.
Yeah.
Because fuck those fucking uppity bitches.
Yeah.
They better not show up in our waters.
Right up in the
We get their
cuts.
stuff.
So, yeah, you know that it's the first mate, the former first mate of Captain Barnabas Harrigan, and that he is up to become an outlaw because of his unsanctioned piracy against Sargovan vessels.
To clarify, yay is for naming him an outlaw.
And putting a bounty
nay
on his head.
is for leaving him be.
Yeah, all this basically does is put a bounty on his head,
Okay.
which you guys yourselves could take up if you so chose.
So, I'll ask, does he have any evidence that he can tangibly present to us?
My reputation and word as a pirate lord, that
Very
should be more
fair.
than enough for you newcomers. He was very offended.
Have we taken steps to inquire after him and to warn him that he is outside of his bounds?
We're pirates, we don't give warnings. You break the law, you get punished.
Right.
That is how it works. That is how it works.
So our characters understand that because this guy said a thing's a thing, if no one with a high reputation says this thing's not a thing, then this thing is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
He deemed it important enough to bring him in front of the Hurricane King himself.
Then it would seem that we should declare him an outlaw, capture him ourselves, get the money, and then have him help us against him again.
Oh, the bounty's...
Dead?
No. I got how much bounty's for. Because A is, he's declared an outlaw, and I was like, well, how much now? It's gotta be an actual amount. Well, currently, before you guys put in your votes, it's 5 A's and 6 nays. What say you?
5 years to declare him.
He's currently not on the gonna be an outlaw.
He's currently on the not an outlaw.
So unless we wanted to be an outlaw.
I don't think I want it to be an
My
outlaw.
vote is a nay.
Yeah, I'm an A too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not an outlaw.
We should go talk.
We should go talk to him though.
We should.
You have no idea where he is.
We should go find where he is, and then talk to him.
Hey, hey, do you know where he is? Oh, I want to go.
The bounty would have been for $5,000.
I guess we just need to go find out where the Sargavans are.
They are
In
south
Sargava.
of. So like, for your
These are the
perspective,
Shackles.
Shackles is here with like water, and Sargava is like below, underneath.
Over here.
Is it that? Yeah.
The
yeah,
continent
far.
starts to turn back in.
Yeah. But it's basically
Down this way.
south down the coast of
Oh,
us.
perfect. Then we gotta go cruise around there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't that the country that Cheliax wants access to?
It
Just like
was
keep
their
coming down there?
colony,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So then
we
that would be
probably
why-
have pretty decent relations with
Uh-huh.
them. Okay.
No, I totally know they do. Yeah, I'm remembering. Because the Shackles isn't like an outright guardian of the place,
Right.
but they're in the way, and they hate Cheliax already.
Right.
So you don't mess with Sargava. So yeah,
So
messing with
you can
Sargava
see
is a legitimately bad
down
friend.
around that peninsula down here.
And, well,
We just don't want to necessarily piss them off.
with the votes going to nay, hard luck needs to go. Alright, it's on you if Sargava gets offended. Issue number 5. Championed by Arenax Adimian.
And he was the guy in the port we were just in last time, Arenax, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So shortly after, so this is brought up after Tessa Fairwind reveals to the council the results of her research that you guys help with into the possibility that there is a Chelish sympathizer and traitor among the pirate lords based in large part on the clues and intelligence that you guys discovered in book 3. So she goes she explains her stuff, and Arenax Adimian brings up issue number 5. He wants funding and support for Chelish investigations to find these people. The feeling you get from the council, because I have 2 or 3 quotes that these people say, is you have the feeling that some people might think he's a bit excited about this. He's a bit too quick to push for the increase in the funding and support for finding the spy. You pick out several quotes from snide comments. Well, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Another one says, don't they call Hell Harbor Little Cheliax? And the likes. And he just gets pissy.
So he's not saying. Is he saying he wants to lead the investigation?
No, he is asking for increased funding and support for the Chelish investigations. He is pushing to wholeheartedly 110% support this.
Okay.
Find those fuckers, get them out. Kurdak Bonefist.
Oh, we got knuckle pops and a smile.
Kurdak Bonefist says we have enough. If there are spies, they'll come to surface. We'll figure it out. So we have 4 votes for no, or for yes, more money, you need to find them, and 7 votes for no. The no's are basically saying just because one group of people found a few Chelish spies who are all dead doesn't mean there's a sympathizer or more spies. That's what they're saying. And the eyes are fucking, but it's Cheliax though. Arenax Adimian's off the corner pouting because everyone's making fun of him. He's like, guys,
It's Cheliax.
you really go find him.
All right. Have a good night, pup.
Night, pup.
Good night.
Bye.
It's like if anybody was going to know about the fact that Cheliax is not going to stop it.
So, more specifically, Kurdak refuses to entertain the thought that Cheliax honestly poses a threat to the Shackles. They're never going to go in here full force, and if they do, our people are too good at being in this spot.
Right.
We'll tear them to pieces.
Home field advantage is a big thing, especially in this sort of team.
Yeah. He's like, fucking Cheliax can stare at us all they want. I don't give a fuck. They can't do shit. It's not worth spending the money.
We find out that he is taken to walking around naked.
Yeah. Aaron X is on board of
Eat
like,
your heart
don't
out,
underestimate
Spice.
Shelly X. Shelly X is
Eat
scary.
your heart out. Look what I'm hiding. Ew.
Do I have
Hard
to?
not to.
Do I have to?
You thought this was the bone fist.
So Matt just reminded me, I got pissed the fuck off last night. I finally got the Borderlands 3. Actually,
Yay!
I made a new account,
Alright.
Fair enough.
which made me feel bad.
That make you- that
My
would-
badass rank is 0. I was such a badass. But I sent him a picture because last night I was doing a mission, and right before like turning in the mission, I opened a chest and got a cool gun.
Okay.
It was a cool sniper rifle, and I was using sniper rifles.
Zero's mission.
Yeah.
You got the same sniper rifle.
Yes.
Better.
No, I got the exact
Yeah.
same sniper rifle.
I know.
Stat for stat.
I know. Oh really?
No, I opened a chest and got a cool sniper rifle, and I was like, that's better than mine. And it's a unique one because it has a little red bit of flavor text.
Yeah.
And then I walked at the turn of the mission to Zero, and in his outstretched hand is the exact same gun. And I was like, okay, it's got the same name, but maybe they're different levels. And I compared them, and it's the fucking like mirrored stats
Oh.
out of a billion gun combinations between levels, extra abilities. I got the same unique gun, the same level, twice, 25 feet apart.
That must be a mission glitch because the same thing happened to me, except the one I got out of the box was actually better than the one I got from Zero.
It's so
I was like,
frustrating.
what? I was like, huh.
That would make sense then, yeah.
Yeah, I never played Borderlands 1 or 2, but I might have to get 3.
You don't have to play.
1
One
or
or
2.
two to play
That's what
3.
people have told me. Yeah, so I'm thinking.
Anything that you don't know, they explain. Like, hey, this is so and so from here.
On a certain level, it would almost be better because the control is so much better.
Oh, they play so different.
Um,
I mean, you're still running a first-person shooting with guns.
Yeah.
It's not that much different. The way the skills trees work and the way you get vehicle, like you actually unlock vehicles through parts now. You don't have to wait till level 5 to start buying perks. Borderlands 1 and 2, it was like, oh, you're level 5? Oh, here's your ultimate ability. You can trigger that when you want. Oh, you're level 6? Okay, clear. Start specking into your skill trees. And now it's like, level 2, here's your thing. Level 3, skill points. Why don't we give you level 1? Because it was level 1. The
Because you're a
tutorial,
basic bitch.
tutorial took you level 2. You're fine.
Now that you're no longer a basic bitch at level 2, you can start having shit.
Fuck.
well, it's nice.
Matt and I added a bunch of golden keys off of Twitter today, and he just pulled. What rank is pink purple?
What
Red
amount
below
of
per lesson?
co-op play is there for Borderlands?
It's built for a 4-person squad.
Oh, okay, coolio.
There are 4 vault hunters, and it's built for a 4-person squad. They don't have any predetermined roles, and I'm pretty sure you can play the same person. I don't think you have to be different characters.
Oh,
Nothing
you can
stops
pick a character with different shit?
Well, you can pick the same character. Like everybody can play as the exact same character, or you can pick your own character. It doesn't. They're not like sticklers. Like somebody has to play the gunner, and somebody has to play the siren.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, no, y'all want to be gunners? Y'all want to be sirens? I don't give a fuck.
And you can make them so different too.
Yeah. Every single character has 3 skill trees that you go through now, and I really like that they added the ability unlocks as they go through. So after so much in one skill tree, they like, hey, here's a perk. Are we silently chatting?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And have
Sounds fun. It's fair.
But yeah, it's a good game. It's so good.
Bam.
And it looks so damn pretty.
Oh yeah,
I know,
it's
so
the
we're all
same.
typey,
It's
yeah.
the same art style, but it's just cleaner and prettier.
Like the increase in fidelity, like when I first watched like the first trailer for it, I was like, it doesn't look that different. I was like, wait a second, hold up. And I went and pulled up some like Borderlands 2 footage. I was like, holy shit, that's so.
It's like you upped from like watching a video in 480 to 1080p.
Because it's all about like that cell.
So I noticed
shading,
it was like
so
that
really
same
thick
weird kind
lines.
of graphics.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
the
it's
sun.
like
that
it's.
increase in how many.
I always call it comic book art.
Oh,
So
there
it's
you
like
go, yeah.
But it's just comic book art. It's gone from 480 to 1080.
Yeah.
It's so much prettier.
he was like,
Oh, and the main villains are streamers. They're live streamers. That's
That's funny.
I hate them so much.
same.
So we could become the villains.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, why not?
What we need to do is get all of the bandits to kill
Oh
themselves.
no! What we need to do is vote on the 5th. This is the 5th issue.
Yeah,
you need to vote.
vote on it.
So support
Oh.
for the spies. And so far it's
So there is either going to be support for the spies or there's not.
Or additional
Yeah, you guys did your thing. That was you guys finding spies. He's asking to keep it going, to get funding and support to keep that going and find and see and look for more. And Kurdak's like, it's a waste of time. Not only did their entire, like, you guys found evidence that was the spy that was there, that was that spy network, and they're all dead.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
So he's like, that's gone.
We even figured out who. Did we figure out who was on top of it?
The alchemist chick who almost murdered you all.
Okay, it was that person. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, no, like, that cell's gone. Even if there are other ones, you're literally going to be looking for a single person who's undercover in the entire Shackles. Like, I don't support wasting the money. So it's Kurdak saying it's a waste of money, and Aaron X going, you can't underestimate Shelly X, don't be an idiot. And he's pushing hard. Kurdak's very nonchalant about, like, no, you're not wasting my money.
Yeah.
And Aaron X is like, hand on the table, we can't fucking underestimate these people. If anyone knows what they're like, it's me. You guys know, I was a
don't
admiral.
spend
Like,
my
fuck
money.
you.
I'd much rather be using it to put up giant fucking statues.
That's not a waste.
So also was
I
turned
said-
down.
I said not in character. Because I don't want to get my head bashed in.
Yeah, that might happen.
I tend.
So what say we? Support. And we are one at a time, so Spencer?
Support.
I will support this shit.
Brock's like, it does sound like a waste of fucking money.
It does.
You don't know, like, it's
I
up
was
to
just
you.
like, nay.
So it's 7 to 8 right now.
In which
Well, because it was 4 eyes and 7
The
nays.
nays have it.
So now it's
Oh.
5, 6, 7.
I'm a.
We have checks. I don't think Brock has any social skills.
Rock has no
Alright,
social.
so let's persuade this bitch. I'm gonna go ahead and
I'll
I'm gonna add a
let,
bluff check.
okay. I'll aid his bluff.
That is a nat 20, so I got a 34. No. 44.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carlin doesn't feel that passionate about this.
So I'm sitting there as you were talking about it. I'm just like,
Now it's
it
8, 7.
sounded like a waste. I don't know why.
Now it's a 9. Yeah, he's like, we could be spending our money on such benefits. We could buy so many. We could buy all of Sargava. I mean, we're not. No, we don't buy Sargava.
I heard that there's this place called Greenland for sale.
The eyes have it. Tessa gets funding and support she needs to continue her investigation. So I want to read this to you because I think it's beautiful. Kurdak Bonefist, and it tells you, kind of like a brief synopsis about their opinion. Secretly would rather those fundings go to building statues for him. Or barring that, just padding his treasury.
Right, yeah.
He refuses to entertain the thought of Shelly exposing a threat to the Shackles.
So, is all we did all meeting is piss people off?
Look, as long as I was pissing off
And get
I was
paid.
happy.
No,
And
the Declaration of Salvage was most people wanted that anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
We had like to work none on that.
it's better, yeah.
Pretty easy.
It was 6 to 5, so it was pretty split. So it's just, yeah. The tithe, everyone wanted to vote your way. No one was dumb enough to vote your way until you guys convinced them.
I'm glad
I
we're
like
dumb
that.
enough to convince them to vote our way.
We're just good enough at being stupid.
I may be an idiot, but I'm not stupid.
And increasing the shares for you guys, it was set up so that if you guys pulled it off perfectly, that was an extra reward for you.
Mhm.
That's what was a 4-7 split. So the 4-person party all got their rights and
They have
immediately be an
one
8-7
level.
and done.
I just like the thought of having a 6-person party in this situation where we all have a vote.
Or having one person get the vote.
Or only one person get the vote.
Because that was the next tier down was
Yeah.
1 seat on the council.
If we didn't have
Or-
tuxedos for our cyclopses.
Yeah, Mitch.
Cyclops tuxedos for the win.
so great.
Mike's hard watermelon.
What? We have watermelons?
Doesn't look
Yeah.
very hard at all.
I want a soft melon.
There's one more if anyone wants one.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. I got Mike's hard lemonade. Watermelon.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's just watermelon.
Melon.
Like what? 3%, 5%. 5% alcohol watermelon.
Do you
It's
guys-
adult juice.
Do you guys have all the hard ciders down under?
I mean, they don't use sugar, so I can't imagine they could possibly have it.
Oh, that's a good point.
They don't use sugar in Australia.
According to Joel, they don't. They don't use
like,
sugar in anything.
It's funny, in most places, the American section of the grocery store is just like cereals like fucking Lucky Charms and like sugar overload and Twinkies.
Yeah, real alcoholic drinks.
I like my
Yeah.
adult juice, mister.
Yeah, you
It's
get real
delicious.
drunk and enjoy drinking it. I also enjoy beer and hard liquor. These are delicious. Oh yeah, I hear you guys really like Foster's.
Ooh.
That's how to piss off any
Hey,
Australian.
we kind of want Seven Ices to stick around. Please don't offend her like that. It's not Australian for beer.
It's the only Australian beer.
She already talked about what is Australian for beer. Free beer. That's Australian for beer. No, Tim Tams are Tim Tams.
Tim Tams are Tim Tams, bro.
And Tim Tams are delicious.
And Mitch posted a picture of Tim Tams.
That's
So
all.
they are.
Yeah.
They look like
Looks like
kind of like
Australian things, yeah,
almost
Tim
like
Tams.
Australian Three Musketeers bar. They got like the nugget in them.
So you're feeding the problem.
That would be kind of feeding the problem.
Yeah.
Americans talk the loudest.
Yeah.
Well,
we
it's-
have really big opinions.
It's just like we
They
drink
like to tell
like
people.
drink
Mhm.
Coronas on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Because that's what Mexico drinks, and then Mexico is like that's the shit we give to you because we don't like it.
I mean, compared to Pacifico and Sol and those kind of beers, it is less good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not wrong.
Modelo's always
Modelo's solid.
Yeah,
Actually, I've had Modelo.
Negro Modelo, fucking solid.
they're pretty good.
I know it's popular.
Mm-hmm. Mexican beer is good.
Yeah.
That's just like the Irish car bombs that the Irish tell to us. Or
You don't get to say that one.
That's
that
rough.
one gets you attacked.
That's rough.
In North Ireland, that gets you jumped.
Good thing we don't have the Irish viewers yet.
yeah, they're gonna be going through our YouTube and they're like, well, these guys got a lot better now, but let's go through the cringe that is their earlier videos, and they're like, oh, that's exactly what the comparison is.
Pretty much.
But get it melt steel beams.
Gonna go land at Tilted Towers.
We'll find out, won't we?
What would be like our combination for a 9/11 drink? Because obviously, like,
Moonshine.
No, it's,
I mean, you have the
In a cup with ice. And we'll call it water.
it's 2 Jaeger bombs and highball glasses.
highball
You take one first and then the other, and then you get sad.
Just tip.
Jokes on you, Brock. I was sad first.
Well, now you're more sad.
An aeroplane.
So then you throw the cocktail called the aeroplane into the cocktail called the tower.
It makes a
Two of
big
them.
old mess.
Oh man, this sounds.
And no one likes you for it.
Oh man, but you know what always cracks me up though is it's so very much British Isles of them to call a massive domestic terrorism problem the Troubles. Like that's what it's called. It's the Troubles.
Where?
That's what all the problems in Northern Ireland. They
Yeah.
collectively, it's the Troubles. And
Really?
That's
I just
funny.
love how British Isles that is to be like it was the Troubles. Like a royal straight up got blown up in his fucking boat. You guys, like he bled to death after both his legs got blown off.
Northern Ireland is just troubled.
It just,
They have the troubles.
You just troubled me, son.
You don't need to worry about
Drink
that.
McGinnis and calm the fuck
You
down.
don't need to
Oh.
worry about that, though.
Put the Jaegers in Bud Light. That
See?
would be yeah.
Ooh.
There you go. See, that was exactly the plan.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can it at least be Coors Banquet?
No.
Oh, Coors Banquet. I can drink that.
You have to mail the bottle caps off. It has to be Bud Light from a bottle, and you mail the bottle caps to Afghanistan.
America.
Well,
Is that how we support the troops?
Yeah,
I
no,
prefer
you
that-
have to pack them up with all the shirts for like that are for the wrong team that didn't win the sporting event. So you know, they're not AFC champs. They're not.
Yeah.
You know all the newspapers that said.
I feel like
Such and
instead
such
of
Bud.
Bud Light, we need to make it the Coors that has the mountains that change color, so you actually know when your beer's cold before you
Yeah.
make the drink.
I mean, it could be PBR, so honestly.
Ooh, Paps though.
Oh gosh.
That's,
I've literally never had a Paps.
it's
I never
pretty
will.
decent.
I don't plan on it.
That's okay.
If there was one in front of me, I would drink it.
It is superior to Coors and Bud Light, in my opinion.
Sure.
It actually has a little bit. It's like a little bit more of like a hop flavor to it.
If I'm gonna drink beer, I'm gonna go down to like Total Wine and I'm gonna pick up a 6-pack of imports and have some tasty beer.
But not America beer?
No,
The best part is that
I like American beer.
There are some good American beers.
I don't like hops,
But you have to go
so I don't like
find
American
them.
beers.
Well, you don't like IPAs.
I don't like hops.
Yeah, if
Fine
you
wheat
want,
beers.
I mean, if you like hops, you can drink American beers and ales. But if you don't like hops, then
Yeah, I
you
go
don't
find
have much.
stouts and porters and wheat and rye. Not gonna lie.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's the same with heat, which is why coffee tastes like shit when it cools off. It's because you're actually tasting coffee's fullness.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why. That's the actual reason behind why in Europe you don't drink a cold beer. It doesn't taste like beer anymore. It's an insult to whoever just made the beer for you to say like, I don't want to taste your beer.
Ryan, you give me a cold beer juice.
That's
And if you drink this, and it's not.
I'm
It's
not
not necessarily
even-
hot. That's because you don't taste the flavor of cold water.
I want to hit him so
You don't
bad.
taste the hose in the hose.
Is he
This
so
is my
over
beer.
there?
This is
Wait,
my
I have
beer.
an idea.
If you took hose water, because hose water has a flavor, and you put it in the fridge overnight, I guarantee you it would next to not the faintest hint of hose, because when it's cold, it just is less flavorful.
Ryan, thank you for the beers. These cold beers are delicious.
Yeah, you drink them like I mean you don't drink hot beer, you don't heat it up, but you just don't refrigerate it, don't get it cold. It's in the counter at whatever room temperature is.
Yeah.
I will say though,
Probably like 25
the
degrees
best
Celsius.
cold beer in the universe is shower beer.
Oh, shower beers are
Shower
good.
beer is fucking great. If you haven't had a shower beer, have one.
It's like
If
just
I-
drinking beer in the shower.
That's an ice cold beer in a steaming hot shower.
Okay.
After a long Friday, there's nothing better.
Cameron got toasted on shower beers one time.
Like a shower 12-pack.
He did a shower 6-pack. He was like, he
There
brought
you
one
go.
in. He was like, "Oh, this is tasty. I'll have another one." So
I've done that.
It was just like, so,
You've also waking up early while in a hotel room to watch Netflix in the shower for an hour and a half.
I have to.
The first thing that made me realize that I'm gonna marry Margie is I was in the shower one day for a long day at
shower
work,
keg.
and
That
a
sounds like
beer
bad idea.
appeared on the top of my shower, and I was like, nope, she's the one. She brought me a shower beer. I didn't ask for it. She brought me one.
That is
So if I win the lottery and custom design a house, I have very few points that I've thought about. Like the D&D room is one of them, and the other one's the master bathroom. And in my shower would definitely be a refrigerator. 4 beers.
I like it.
Oh boy.
It'd be accessible from both the shower and the tub.
Stop that! You're gonna kill yourself.
I'd be concerned for their safety, and also why am I walking to the bathroom with the showers on? That's a no-no. I don't know if you're looking down under while you're down under, but I just nope, not for my eyes. I'm solid.
Well, they're just like, well, hey man, I couldn't figure out how you shower. So you drank my beer?
Yeah, what else did you expect me to do?
All right, so we have completely dominated this entire meeting because
Oh yeah, we're playing a game.
Oh, so yeah.
Drinking beers.
After the 5th issue, Kurdak just stands up and is like, I'm fucking tired of this. I'm gonna get drunk. And the meeting's over.
Great.
His patience for bureaucracy wears out.
That's
I can tell.
He seems like that kind of man.
You know, they're just didn't get any statues of him.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't get my shit. Spend all my money.
These freaking upstarts got paid. I mean, it goes with our motto, doubles and doubles.
That's our motto.
Yeah, when we go to the bar.
Doubles
It's
and
not,
doubles.
that's expensive.
Oh. No,
I
the
mean, it's
motto
true.
was just really hope Brandon gets drunk enough to buy everybody drop shots.
Yeah, we're
And or hope Matt comes into town, in which case Brandon's definitely buying everybody drop shots.
But there's no law. We
I'm
drink the
really
claw.
glad we don't go out and drink anymore.
What, you didn't like seeing those $250 jabs?
No, I didn't. No, I'm like,
The real
I'll
question is,
I'll have.
are you guys importing White Claws? Because that's on you.
Ain't no import law when you're importing the import claw.
No import laws when you import the claw.
The best thing about White Claws is the reputation that the drink has came up with. So the people who actually like the drink feel they need to defend the drink, which only supports the reputation of the drink.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. We appreciate that you found something other than Mountain Dew.
Like they are perpetuating the meme by supporting White Claw.
So yeah. Oh, you guys pissed Kurdak off
A lot.
a lot.
Sweet.
Because he
Wait.
wanted the statues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't want us to get paid.
He didn't want us to get paid.
He didn't want you to get paid. He
Didn't want the spies.
We do want to fund the spies.
He didn't want to fund the spies. You agreed with him. Or no, you guys didn't put a bounty out, right?
Correct. We
So
did
you
not.
agreed with him.
Okay.
Damn it!
Oh, sorry. His standpoint against it was, this is just another one of Harrigan's. This is just an outburst of Harrigan's increasingly poor attitude. It's not worth our time.
Fair.
Insinuating that, don't shade with me, hard luck. He asked to do this, didn't he? So
Hard luck is on board with Harrigan.
If only there were a couple of roguey boys to kill him in the middle of the night.
No, we're not killing a pirate lord. That would be unsanctioned.
that's a good way for these level 15 characters to turn on you. Like,
Yeah.
I know, we're
But I mean, if one just happens to wind up dead one day, yeah, that's not even.
Yeah.
Like that's not
No.
even entertain that idea.
So if 4 new pirate lords wound up dead one day.
No one would give.
Well, no,
two
so
shits.
one pirate lord wound up dead, and then 4 end up dead the next night.
someone was going off killing people,
It's
you know?
5 o'clock somewhere.
No, you see what happened was the one
only
killed the
mistake
4, then
in
we
my
killed the
country
1.
music.
Yep.
Or at
There's
least
a pirate
the only
lord killed.
accurate one.
So, Kurdak is like, you know what, fuck this shit.
I'm out.
He's enough of this meeting, calls it to a close. He wants to go spend some quality time with his lovely consort for some comfort in her arms. It says it right there.
Okay.
It says it right there.
Solid.
Even if we were to agree with him with everything, would that still be the line?
Yeah, he just gets tired of politics. The other pirates already feeling the effects of food and grog are, for the most part, eager to comply.
Sure.
It's
They're
about an
getting-
hour, guys. It's a long time.
Basically, it's been about an hour.
Yeah.
You guys are eating, you're drinking.
I gotta piss.
They're like, I don't fucking care about this shit anymore.
Oh wow, we're almost hour for hour game time to real life. We're really good, guys.
Oh shit.
Yeah, us.
Weird.
So, for the most part, they're eager to comply, ready for this shit to be over, and most people just bounce.
Bye.
They leave the fort and head back to their ships to go home back to their business. Like everyone's like, yeah, I had to. It's not like it's you just popped down to the, for us, popped over to SAC to go to the Capitol building and say hi.
Right.
It was these people took anywhere from like a 1 to like
A week.
week. This is people who could make it.
Yes.
Yeah, imagine there's probably
Yeah,
15
let's
people
go
that
to
couldn't
DC,
fucking
guys.
make it.
We got a meeting in DC. Let's go.
But there's not planes.
But we
There's
have
no
to,
planes.
we have to sail.
Can we teleport?
No.
Oh.
You can drive. You can take a land boat.
Right, we don't
Everyone's
have any
sort of
Arcane
teleport.
casters, yeah, so we can't teleport.
You beautiful boy, Matthew. He sent me in.
That's
I'm an
it.
arcane caster.
We gotta get just a teleport bot.
I mean, you can guys teleport when you hit 13th level.
Well,
It's only 2 levels from now.
Bard, right?
You're partially
When you hit
right.
16th level. When we're like, done with the campaign-ish.
Our vodka owes like Jello shots.
Is that a brand of vodka?
Is that a type of vodka?
I've never heard of vodka.
Not that we know of.
What doth beeth iteth
I
a
just
vodka
looked at a whole
of?
lot of vodka yesterday, and I didn't see anything called
I'm gonna go
vodka.
ahead and
so
Google
I'm
that.
gonna say
So, anyways,
maybe not.
after you guys leave,
Salutations.
Oh, thanks.
a raven shows up on your ship.
Ooh.
What's up, bird?
It
With a
is
note?
Australian vodka.
Well, so then no, I don't think we have Australian vodka.
I know you can't read. Give that to me.
I like looking at the letters. I'm smarter than the average boy.
Oh, I think I remember watching a video with Steve the bartender using it.
Good job, Steve.
He's a good guy. Not that I know him personally, but I like
We'll
his
say that he's a
videos.
good guy.
Does anyone have spellcraft?
Yeah.
Yes.
Roll it.
Okay. Oh.
I got 21.
23.
Think you guys make the DC to identify a silver raven figurine of Wonder's power?
Oh, yeah. That's not very high.
I don't know what it is to identify.
It's not very high.
Silver Ravens.
Yeah. Those were in the campaign.
Huh.
Yeah, we got those in that campaign. I never used them.
They were poop items, but
I don't like the font. It makes my head hurt.
Oh,
rough.
It's
Probably
kind
should.
of cool, like, if you could pass that out and then just read in regular script.
Yeah.
oh yeah, it works as if Animal Messenger, which is a second level spell, basically. Look at these here cast level for that. That's kind of weird, actually.
Vodka O is in the top 10 percentile of best
They
vodkas
didn't,
in the world.
that's weird.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
you don't even need the requirement craft wonders item to make it.
Now I want some.
Yeah,
Right?
it's really weird. I don't know.
That must be
Tastes
completely an
like-
oversight.
Hey.
Oh, figures are almost better that.
I'm always looking
Grey
for
Goose is number
drinkable
3.
vodka.
Which is surprising.
Vodkas in the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's number 1?
Black Cow, British vodka.
Oh.
Belvedere is number 2.
That's my personal favorite. And
You Polish elitist.
You.
never had it. Vodka's Polish. It's not Russian, it's Polish.
Is it really?
And Belvedere is.
I'll have to try it sometime.
Absolute vodka is number 8?
What?
The fuck?
In what world?
How
Where
are
did
there
this
how
go?
are there vodkas this shitty that they exist? If 8 is absolute, 9 is sky. If we are regularly drinking in the top 10 vodkas, like,
Because Sky and Absolute's what we buy.
yeah,
They're like, as far as vodkas go, like they're not too expensive, so you can mix them, but also they're not too shitty, so they're okay in a mix.
the fuck. I mean, that was just from one website, but I don't want to look anymore. I don't want to know that I've been drinking the best and not being excited.
It's the best around.
Tito's is okay.
Tito's good.
It's not bad.
Oh yeah, I've had
Yeah.
Tito's. It's good.
I've only had Tito's, I think, in mules.
It's a common place for it.
An American mule's what they call it.
My mom drinks Tito's and tea.
But don't worry, it's gluten free.
Yes.
That must be why I like it so much.
So I'm going to read you a note.
Perfect.
Makes me want to drink.
Yay, story time.
My friends, it pains me to darken your accomplishments, but I feel I must. Tessa, Fairwind, the lady who decided, like, hey, you guys should really go out and try that regatta thing, and
Mhm.
Right.
I'll support you.
Our benefactor.
Wait.
Your sponsor.
Yeah.
Despite your triumphs of late, there remain those who do not accept you as deserving of the prize. You have been of the prize you've been awarded. If you expect to keep your isle, you'll need to fight for it. Oh, that's fucking. I'll show you the letter. That's an E. It says even. Oh, fuck. I don't like that. Even as I pen this, warning, know that your old nemesis, Barnabas Harrigan, is bolstering his own fleet, funding through his recent spate of successes raiding the Chella shipping lanes. And he will come for you as soon as he's ready. War is coming to the Shackles, whether Bone Fist wants to admit it or not. We have a traitor, or perhaps traitors, in our midst. And when the Chellish Navy sails south, it will divide us through our own greed and betrayal if we are not ready. I intend to survive this war. And to do so, I need all the help I can get. I hope to see you survive as well. But to do that, you must gather a fleet. In time, I will join my resources to yours, but for the immediate future, I must retain a low profile. I fear I have drawn too much attention to my plans already. Hire mercenaries if you must, but seek out friends and allies if you can. They will serve better than those bought with coin. Bolstering your infamy can only help as well. Some of the topics that came up at the council meeting seemed to be good places to start. Looting the Black Tower and recovering the sword Aegir's Kiss from within would certainly increase your fame. And if you can track down Skaggs Rockham, well, an old mate of Harrigan's could be an invaluable ally.
Yep.
Especially if you know something about Harrigan's weaknesses. Until I contact you again, keep the Silver Raven figurine as proof of my word. Sell it off if you wish. After the party you threw at your fortress, I suspect you might need the spare coin to help pay for the fleet you'll soon need. Signed, Tessa.
I like getting a fancy sword.
Fancy
Down.
sword is good. Finding rock gam,
I-
probably also good.
Like finding Rotgam.
And
Getting
also,
his underwater breathing crew for his ship, also good.
seems
Yeah.
important. And I mean, mustering up literally any ally we can find.
Also good.
Let's rock Graham. Cool. I'm looking up Skags to make sure that I can.
Oh, Spencer, let's try not to forget the dispensers.
Yeah, let's bring those back.
Oh, short version of White Russian. Interesting.
Yeah, you gotta get the dispensers.
Why the multiple Spencers?
Those Spencers to dispenser.
What are you dispensing?
Justice.
Justice!
Maybe some tasty beverages.
Oh boy.
That's right. We're not doing Skags first. I have to rewrite Skags.
I was literally going to ask you, is there anything that you prepared for us to do tonight? We'll go there first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so I'll tell you how they put it in the book. Skags is dead.
Oh no.
Yeah, so part 1, you go to a rant, you follow the trail of Skags through the diplomacy that you don't have.
Because it's gather information.
Does anyone actually have diplomacy?
He's a bard.
So you to gather information. We're not rolling it. We're not doing this part. I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
I mean, I add
I have
8,
19.
so I have a number.
Okay.
Um,
What do you add to diplomacy?
19, I think.
I mean, mine's just going to be 7 lower,
Yes.
so I have a 23 now, so I'll have a 16.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 19 is what I have right now.
So then Spencer would still have to get a 16 on the die to gather information to find a lead.
Oh wow.
It gets a cumulative +1 bonus for each time it's made, but it has to, how often you can ask gets further and further. And eventually you find an island where his crew was attacked by a Bria Loca.
That sounds scary.
I don't remember what it is, but he gets attacked by an underwater monster, and then he gets turned into a minion of the underwater monsters. And I'm like, no, first off, we're not doing another fucking underwater combat.
Fair.
It's in,
Next time I get a versatile performance.
Oh.
it's in a little cave.
Oh.
Um,
Uh-oh.
Apparently, posting a link is not a good thing.
Oh, 7X is in a regular, and that's why.
yeah,
Sorry, 7X, let me add you as a regular if I can ever find the freaking mouse. I found it.
so yeah, you go to this cave, the derelict cave full of shipwrecks and underwater stuff, and you fight these
What?
fucking,
Our bot's being a jerk. Don't worry about
Bond's
it.
being the bar, like monitoring the chat or something.
yeah. So they are medium undead variants, because they're elders, that make Lacedon minions, which are basically underwater zombies. They're only a CR 9, but anything that's underwater is immediately bad.
I mean, I know at this level, I don't care as much about underwater combat. So I don't think everyone else has that luxury though.
That's why I didn't put this in. It's 3 intelligent underwater boys.
Yeah, I can see I like reload
An
annoying.
intelligence of 15 that deal a decent amount of damage plus a disease. That if they if they do kill somebody, you respawn, like goodbye character.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Anybody have a +3 weapon yet?
I have a +1.
I believe so.
I would make it a +3 weapon.
Oh.
So then Brock's the only one that doesn't get stopped with their DR.
Sweet.
They have SR.
Of course. That's
Oh, and
the
if you
most
kill
powerful
one,
they do.
they have death throws.
Gosh, these
Does
things are
stuff.
rude.
Yeah, all underwater. And I'm like, no, fuck that. Only to find out that he's dead, one of his crew members alive, and the crew member gives you a little bit of info.
It's funny, I can still see her messages.
Yeah, I think only the link was stopped.
Oh, because it shows them cut out. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think I did it right, so.
I appreciate the fact that the bot got mad about and.cream. That sounds like a website.
Oh.
And that's what.
Yeah, 'cause you actually post a link. That's weird.
Yeah. That's really funny.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm slowly scrolling through this. Chrome, but it's
Barks,
working.
Amaretto, Coffee, Amaretto, Kahlua, and.
But I was going to. I did steal the Black Tower, some of its fluff and its map.
Also just has Amaretto instead of vodka. It's heavy green.
So the Black Tower is good to go.
Okay.
I was using it as a segue to start my part 1.
Yeah.
I guess part 2. So we did part 1, which was the meeting in the first ship. So I was gonna steal their tower, make it quicker. I just put in my own stuff instead of their stuff. It's only 5 rooms. And then that's gonna be the jump off point. So before you go in search of a tower you've never heard of before, you will be approached by, I forgot Brock's boyfriend's name.
Yeet.
Pierce.
Pierce Durrell.
Pierce Durrell comes up to you before you guys leave Port Peril.
Oh, hi, sweetie.
Hello, my dear. I've just heard the most interesting information. I fancy myself a hobbyist treasure hunter, though a very poor means of income for us pirates. Something irreplaceably fun about it. I've been waiting for the opportunity to go after a particular treasure, and because I do so care about you fools, and I owe Tessa a favor, I'm gonna hand it up to you.
Ooh.
So, my nipples even cuts. Ooh. Yeah, the monster. So, many years ago, a pirate came, well, a raider came from the land of the Linnorm Kings.
It's by his wife.
A brutish Viking of a man, named Captain Jokul Konungur.
Does that name sound familiar?
No,
Okay.
like literally, not at all.
I think it sounds like my dad.
I was gonna say, was your dad from up that far north?
Yeah.
Okay. I was always making sure to say, I don't remember what his name was, but, because that would be kind of funny.
He was far before your time, as he is, well, about to die of old age. Very rare occurrence in the Shackles. He brought his brutal, savage culture with him, and for many years was a scourge to the pirates of the Shackles and the Pirate Council itself. He manned a great, massive ship that was manned and armed by brutishly big men, the shortest of which is probably 6.5 feet. And he dominated, slaying men and monster alike. It wasn't until his later years that the fire burnt out, and he retired. He started taking out more normal pirate escapades, robbing merchant ships, and just enjoying the luxuries life had. Recently, I've heard word that his crew is holed up in a fairly peculiar place. Seems our captain wanted one final go of things, and they assaulted the Black Tower. Now, I don't know the state of them, but last I heard they were not dead. Captain Jakul is, hell, even in his old age, Still quite a fearsome man.
Mm.
Just double checking that I have his age right.
Mm.
Yep. Rumor has it that he is 75 years old.
Mm. Ooh, damn.
So, not only would the Black Tower be beneficial for you guys' reputation, but if you were to find his treasure hoard for his career, the friend who told me about their current escapades mentions that they are on a simple 3-masted sailing ship that is not the dreaded ship of ages that he once rode upon. I have been holding on to a unique item for quite some time now. I found it quite useful in my hobbies, and for this I would lend it to you. And he pulls out a small package. It's about, a foot by, 1 foot tall by 2 feet wide, and it's a picture frame. So,
It's a mirror that shows you what you want.
nope. It is an item that acts as a better version of Create Treasure Map.
Whoa.
Check your spells, boy.
That's cool.
So, Create Treasure Map, for those of you who just, oh yeah, I had spellcraft. You can take a piece of a dead creature's body and use it to create a map that reveals the locations of any valuables that creature knew about while still alive. You must cut off this piece yourself, and the creature cannot have died more than 24 hours prior to casting the spell. You cannot cast the spell on a creature without a physical body, and the portion you remove must be fairly level surface, such as hide, carapace, or skin. The map you create is accurate to the best knowledge of the creature that the creature had at the time of its death. It reveals the location of 1 source of treasure for every 3 caster levels you possess.
I love the idea that we get his skin and it leads us to his sock drawer and where he left his keys.
Yeah.
and
The keys to my
his
bow.
dentures. It's dang it.
Any inaccuracies or faulty information held by the creature are represented in the map as well. Similarly, the map cannot account for any changes that occur since the creature's death. You must choose a scale of the map while creating it, opting for between nearby, 1 and 2 dungeon levels, for example, local, a valley or a community, or broad, a country or larger. The map reveals the locations of what the creature deemed most valuable in its area. Depending on the creature, the map might reveal the source of tasty food, suitable mates, or even your own treasure vault. That means the caster's own treasure vault, because it deemed it valuable. The valuables don't have to belong to it, that's the point.
Right. Fair.
It's not declared possession. So, Pierce explains that this item is unique. As items tend to do, it bent the rules. This particular frame only creates broad maps, but it forces the map, the valuables found, it forces the spell to only show valuables found in the Shackles, or known as the Shackles.
Oh, nice.
The 24-hour caveat, however, still applies. So my hopes is that you can raid the Black Tower, acquiring the prestige and reputation that it has there, and find him alive, if you're lucky enough, dying, and take him out yourself.
So, out of curiosity, would a spell like Gentle Repose, if you casted it immediately, would that kind of negate the 24-hour
Nope.
rule? Okay.
It's the intelligence of the creature, while the imprint of the mind is still there.
Okay.
So it has to still be able to convey the thoughts through the spell.
Not that I had Gentle Repose to cast, it was more of a curiosity question.
It's not the quality of the flesh, it's the time since death. That way the spell can still draw upon the soul, because it has as it's found through Hell's Rebels, you just kind of fucking, here's the soul. There you go.
Just a wee bit.
Your soul leaves your body and takes an indirect route to a place that you can't get to. So yes.
Alright, well then hearing of our time constraints going to the Black Tower makes the most sense.
I do expect it to be returned to me.
Of course.
I do so love my hobby.
Alright, just the man to hold on to it for you.
It's me.
Oh, is it?
Except for it was more like,
Yeah.
are you human?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm short little rabbit.
So,
Yeah, you are.
the Isle of the Black Tower. Where's the part I'm allowed to read to you?
That part.
There's so much fluff and lore behind these places, and I'm not supposed to tell you almost any of it. There we go. They don't have a good picture of the Black Tower, but this will have to do.
It's made of stone and on the elements plane of Earth. Because I don't have earthquake.
It's on this plane, but yes, it's made of stone.
Dude, we're way the fuck out there for our island.
Right here. Far Cry was here. It's 6 days. Wow, this is a 4-page PDF. Don't be that upset. And this is on half of a page. Nope, I zoomed out. You're mad.
Don't get mad.
Just
Get
2 notches
mad.
in, just make them. So,
Gary.
Wait.
she wants attention.
No.
So that, in the that side of
I
that,
see what you're saying, yeah.
is the Dune June.
Oh, do we have to climb up to the entrance?
Well, let me read the description of the place.
Oh
And,
no, it's our one true villain.
They're back.
Oh no.
I knew we'd meet again.
Alright, he's our villain.
But for the last
So-
time.
The Black Tower.
Are you Harrigan?
The Black Tower is made of a strange, weirdly porous but fantastically strong dark stone with a rough, grainy feel, similar to pumice, yet with the strength of marble. The slender tower is supported as much by magic as its architecture. Something that a successful DC knowledge arcana or engineering check confirms.
Neither.
Okay.
What was that?
Knowledge
or
arcana or knowledge engineering.
Nope. I got a 26 Arcana.
Okay, yeah. It is not only built expertly, but it is also enhanced by magic.
+1 tower.
The tower has no visible entrance. In fact,
Brandon's 1-3. It's not. He had the hat.
Oh.
That's the cheating.
the bottom half of the tower consists of solid stone. See the side view there.
Mm-hmm.
The sides of the tower are overgrown with thick, slippery vines that you can climb.
Oh, cool. Carla's not very good at climbing.
So I got rope and
I have
So
boots,
I
so
grab-
just gonna let me walk up them.
I got this rope. Bring it with you.
I can bring a rope up with me and tie it off.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's I think was the idea.
The Black Tower extends.
Oh, I never bought the robe of Venice rope. Sorry, I want to buy that.
400 feet into the air.
I really wish I had that. Oh wait, not to the. Oh, so that's probably like 200 feet up.
There are no windows in the entire tower.
I mean.
Oh yeah, you're starting there.
I mean, we would have rope on our ship.
It's the top.
You work your way
True.
down.
Like we could.
Well, no, there's a like a rope thing that just has endless rope.
The
that I
rope
meant
of
to get.
endless twine or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
So the tower's 400 feet tall.
So I want the. It's
A single move action, I can go 20 feet.
Mhm.
So if I were to single move actions for a minute, I can go 120.
20.
So in 4 minutes, I can walk up there.
Cool.
You just need.
400 feet of rope.
The vines go all the way to the top. It just stops off here so that you can see the cross section.
Cool.
Yeah, the vines go all the way up the top.
Oh, I suppose we go back to the ship and we raid the rope lockers.
I could let someone borrow my gloves of swimming and climbing.
That would help. What does everybody add to climb?
3.
Super.
8.
If I were to take off my gloves, 14, but I have a climb speed because I'm walking.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have +5 gloves that someone can use.
Okay. It's not a very high DC. Know that if you fall from very high up, you will die. Well, you could die.
Good die, yeah.
Here's what we'll do. We'll let everybody use the gloves. One person will climb all the way up, and they'll drop them 400
Yeah.
feet back
Both
down.
gloves and hope they don't split in the air with their resistances. So.
Simply.
You're-
Take it out,
yeah.
Put a little rock in it.
Yeah. You're
I
fine.
mean, that's fair, actually.
And just don't be like right under. Don't try and catch them.
Yeah.
Let them drop, then go get them.
All right. The
Somebody
gloves
fit.
take 20 d6 of falling damage,
No.
but it conveniently blows a hole open in the side of the tower.
Wait, does the tower fall?
No,
Oh.
it's a nice little indent.
Oh, okay.
It's solid stone all the way through. That's fine. Yep.
Oh,
So how do we do this?
So
I don't care how you do it. Just let me know how you do it.
I would say Skiven walks up with the rope, making sure we can get plenty of rope from our ship.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Why
raise
does Featherfall last?
10 minutes per level?
I mean, I can cast Featherfall on people this way. If you fall off,
You can always catch
you
yourself.
don't die.
You descend slow enough where I'll give you a chance to catch the rope again. So there's this weird part where it's the same DC to climb a rope as these vines.
Oh.
Oh, that's
I was
pretty
I
Almost-
said it wasn't very high.
That's true.
It's
Oh.
meant for people to not have climb.
Oh. Oh, in that case, well, we might as well just get going.
I'm probably fine then.
What do you add?
8.
Maybe.
Don't roll a 1.
It's
Probably sure like just climbing a rope is like a 15, and then it's knotted, it gets lower.
not it's a 5.
Yeah.
You move it. Who here moves at 30? Did everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, I move it.
Everyone but me.
So just for reference, you're rolling 27 climb checks.
Ooh.
That is
You're climbing a 400-foot tall tower at 15 foot per move action.
No, I understand
Return.
the distance, but
Just let me know.
it's still ridiculous.
I think
But
we're
at
gonna
this
want the
level, you
gloves.
can get fly, you can dimension door, you can teleport. There's a whole lot of myriad of magical means that they're assuming you're like, yeah, bink.
Nope. Mundane.
Alright, guys.
Or that you guys are a tower and you all bought slippers of spider climb because they're really cheap. You did just get enough money. I think they're less than $3 grand.
I suppose. If we want to make a detour and come back.
Well, I mean, we did never leave Fort Peril when talking to Pierce, and you would have given us this information, maybe?
No, he doesn't have any actual information on it. This
No,
is
we
the
would've had to get
physical
here and be
description
like,
of it.
oh,
Yeah.
well, that's what we got.
He knows the tower is black and is in fact the tower.
It is a black tower. Some might even say a big black tower.
I think it would, at least for the seafaring region, the
Oh.
Shackles be the biggest.
4.8
Blackest tower.
for the boots.
So yeah, you're just shy.
I
Broke
could
house
not
spells.
buy a second pair.
I'm looking at a spell, yeah. Well, yes. So, I mean, I can't give it to everyone, but I can cast Airwalk, which is a 4th level spell.
How long does it last?
10 minutes per level, and it's a person touched. Which basically
Can
lets them
you-
just walk up around.
You don't have the strength, though, because you're not a strength character to carry someone.
I mean, I could carry you because you're little.
So I'm gonna intervene a little bit. You're going by yourself.
But I could put
Your
prepare
gloves
more.
go to him,
Yeah,
and then you two have to airwalk.
yeah. So I could do up to 3 rather than not.
No, you
So
can-
you'll be
you
at
can
a
do two.
13
Yeah.
with my gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch, you have to roll 0 checks.
Perfect. Cool. And then we're gonna walk our way up.
Yeah.
It's DC 10.
We walk up as if we're basically walking
But when I
upstairs
told you the
around
number, you're like, ooh, that 1 in
Oh,
20, definitely
you
somebody could
carry
show
that.
up.
Him.
Well, he's got
Yeah.
these little shoes that let him walk straight up.
Oh, and then he's climbing, yeah.
So yeah. Perfect.
So I use one of that spell, one of that
I mean,
spell.
yeah, the 1 in 20 could come up, but then I could just cast Featherfall, catch myself, and keep rolling. But with the gloves, it's just a lot easier.
Yeah,
It
because
doesn't have to
27 checks, you're gonna roll
If
one.
it wasn't
Well, that's
20,
the idea of having Featherfall. But
Yeah.
if it wasn't 27 checks, I would say inspire competence.
The skill one. That'd
Yeah.
still be a waste before a dungeon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Though, if it wasn't 27 checks,
Even if it was like 5+.
Whoa. Wait,
that's rough. Yeah, it's a lot of.
That's because you have what? Equal to level? Level rounds?
no, it's more than
It's
that.
more than that. Like I have.
It's 2 per
19
level.
Well, Spencer,
No,
for
not
the
2
next
per level. Interesting.
freaking
It's probably this much at first.
2
and
hours
super long.
almost. We can just walk
Yeah,
on
it's
air
that.
and stuff.
Oh heck yeah.
You're not a full level bard. That's what I keep forgetting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Ooh.
8 levels bar.
Black.
So put your humans and non-humans onto here.
Gotta grab our humans and non-humans.
Weirdly enough,
It's weird.
they show up first, then it's you, and then like very quickly after you it's him.
Because he's not that much slower than I am.
He's 5 feet slower than you.
Do you see my human, Brock?
Yeah, you're probably up there. Like, what? You don't want your human though, Brandon.
No,
Do you see my non-human?
That's
Wait, so you ran up?
Here.
Is that Skinner?
Yeah.
Oh, Hey, where was Squee been?
He was chilling right there.
Oh shit, fuck.
Nice. Is Squee not there, Brock?
Skip it.
Given?
Oh.
Is he in the cabinet?
Yeah.
Eat.
Please.
That's because you're in here.
Oh no. I got a disease.
Running through your neighborhood, spreading all my fleas.
What was it? I saw a TikTok where like someone's like, they're a school teacher, and like she's like describing a situation where like the student like it's just like, you know, like, oh no, I'm not a, and she goes, running through your, and the person looks up and he goes, hit or miss. I bet they never miss, huh? The person goes, got a boyfriend, bet he never miss. And he goes, what's your username? I will find you.
I follow a girl named Emily, Miss Emily, and she teaches like I don't know if it's an after school or something like that for young adults.
Mm-hmm.
And she got caught doing that, and now her kids like track her down and find her, and she has to contact their parents and tell them to make their child unfollow them. Because there is no way to, at least as far as I know, stop someone from following you.
Yeah.
Right.
There is no block feature on TikTok. So for her, it's like, yeah, they just can't.
No, that would be really weird. Like, you know, it's almost like the whole social media thing, where it's just like, I'm doing this thing because it's interesting and outside of my professional life. Well, then professionals look at it to see if you're the type of person they want at their company.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, just stupid things like TikTok continue on that trend of, it's like, no, like we have ways of looking up your stupid username to figure out who you are to see if.
And it's not that hard, because I'm sure a company is fine spending money on it.
Yeah.
Like Margie and I found when I was Googling my name pretty hardcore the other day, and Margie and I found a website for like $25 you could find out everything they had on me, and they knew my first, last name, the city I lived in, and the last 4 of my phone number.
Damn.
And that was for free. They said it was 43 though.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah. But I'm like, you have that much information on the non-paid version.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, so like that's the kind of shit that's out there when people talk about like Big Brother and sharing information. It's memey as it is. It's not a fucking joke.
Oh no, I have no illusions that it is a joke.
Like it's just, it always comes off as like a meme to me.
Thanks, Facebook, and before that, Patriot Act.
It's just the
And
fact.
Google, don't forget to be a big fan.
I am a big
They're all
supporter of
on.
our Google overlords. If they wish to have my information, they just need to ask.
I mean, in the end, it meant free internet for everybody. So really, like,
I use Google too much to ever complain. I'm like, no, I use your product too often. You can know everything I do. They know that I Pathfinder everything.
Well, there's that, yeah.
Pathfinder, what day is it?
Pathfinder hookers, I mean.
You know?
Pathfinder 4.
You would probably end up on
Whoa.
services and hirelings subpage for D20 PFSRD,
Funny.
where you find how to hire like bodyguards and carriage drivers, and they classify that one as somewhere on there.
I'll pass.
So B1, years of neglect and exposure to a quarter century of storms have apparently caused the tower roof to collapse.
weird.
In on itself, forming a bowl-shaped, rubble-filled concavity at the tower's crown.
Oh.
It's kind of sagging. Most of the stonework and rubble lies buried underneath thick blankets of moss and vines and hanging plants that cling to the foot-deep layer of soil composed entirely of the sodden, decomposed remains of over 2 decades of jungle growth. Perception check to find something.
38. I hope I found it.
I found a rock.
Ooh, 20.
So I'm gonna say sometimes it's really nice to have someone who cracked out a skill. It was 25. Yeah.
I could have failed it.
I could get 24.
I mean, you can get a 25 at first level.
That's true.
You can just
Yeah.
roll good.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have your 1 plus your in class plus any amount of wisdom.
Because it's 4 without a wisdom.
Yeah, basically.
With a wisdom is 1. If you're a half elf, you don't even need to put the 1 point in wisdom. They get a stack 2. Which is why Kingmaker and Wiz Boys were all half elves because skills. And they get a free skill
Skills.
focus at first level. I was like, I'll take +5 perception at first level before ranks.
Good.
Yeah, for a bunch of NPCs, yeah.
Yeah, that seems really good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you're like, oh, +5 to this knowledge, +5 to that knowledge. Get all the pluses. Because they have alternate elven traits we can change the +2 around.
Oh, really?
There's not a ton of skills on there, but there's some.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of them was the Arcana,
Oh, gotcha.
which was nice. So, a successful DC 25 perception check made while searching this overgrown area reveals a section where the ground seems strangely sunken. This marks the point at which an ancient trap door hangs partially open, clogged with rubble, soil, and roots. A few minutes of work clears the debris and reveals an old stone trap door, opening onto the top of a curved flight of stairs winding on the tower. I need a strength check.
That's actually. Take 20.
This is the part where I'm like, what's your strength modifier?
Strength modifier is 3.
This could take a while.
You can take
Everybody
20, right?
helps.
Yeah, but he can also try first.
8.
Huh?
And yeah, you can take a 20 if you so choose. It'll take 20 times as long.
Oh, it's 17.
20?
20?
Yeah.
Yay! It doesn't take 20 times as long.
It's like, hold on, let me just.
A successful DC 18 strength check is all that's required to force the door open wide enough to admit entry.
I just
That's
realized
all.
That's all.
I
Well,
forgot my
usually most
sheet.
parties
I
will
probably
have a
That's right.
strengthy boy.
We've just moved towards Dex because it's better.
I forgot my
We have.
sheet. I probably could have aged.
I've kind of forgotten
You could have.
what it's like
It
to
wouldn't
make
matter
this
for
kind of
this
character.
Dex is too. If you once you can get realize you can get Dex to the few things that strength goes to. You're like, yeah, I can put it to my attack and damage rolls. You're like, but it already goes to your AC, your reflex, save, and a bunch of skills. You're like, yep.
Gila and
But
Robert were
Dex
both
can
strength boys.
technically do more damage.
Yeah,
Strength.
actually, he was a strength boy.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Thank you.
Those were our last strength boys, were Gila and Robert.
And can it do more damage?
Gives you get 2-handed.
Two-handed leads to fighting, which requires Dex anyways. Yeah, Pathfinder set themselves up to where Dex-based melee DPS was the way to go. It's gross.
Huh. As soon as they gave you a bunch of ways to add dex to damage, that's when it happened. When it started out, because
They're
you're
like-
still like, you still need to add strength to damage. So even
Yeah.
if you're going 2-weapon fighting, you
You
have
still
to
have
be
some
strength and have that. You have
And
to have dex.
I really like the idea in concept of Dex to attack rolls. It makes sense. It's technique over brute force.
Mhm.
I like it. The whole Dex to damage part though. As much as I've used it in characters, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just convenient.
I can tingle you better.
Yep.
Oh no!
Because precision damage is already deemed as you got a vital spot. So they don't make the Dex to damage precision. If they changed it to where the Dex to damage from any source that gives it to you was precision damage, I'd be okay with it.
Oh, yeah, that would nerf it quite a bit.
It would,
Oh, because there are
nerf it,
things that are.
but it would also
immune
make
to
sense
precision damage.
in context.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I hit you more accurately, so I hit
Just
soft
multiply
point,
that,
but
okay.
a little bit of extra damage.
Things are immune to it.
Yeah,
No, that makes perfect sense.
and some things in the world just take a bunch of brute force to put down.
Yeah.
Finessing doesn't work in everything.
Good luck finessing an ooze.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't.
But you can.
Vulcan out there trying
No,
to.
they're immune to crits.
Doesn't
Well,
matter.
I mean,
It hasn't
well,
stopped the
yeah.
dex to damage.
There's a Vulcan out there trying to nerve pinch it.
Where's its nerve?
There's an ooze master that walks in from 3-5 and goes, "Get this bottle." Guys, I got your bottle. Wanna play with it?
Wanna play with it? That doesn't make sense. Magic, shut up, go away.
I imagine it's like the Jujus from Wind Waker.
Oh,
Carla wants a couple bottles of those.
oh dear.
I've always wanted to play an ooze master. And the prestige classes from 3-5 are playable. From 3-0.
Yes.
The base classes from 3rd are not good.
Well, some of the prestige classes definitely need some tweaking, but yeah. Because their prereqs were
Like
balls. Like,
What a
hey,
way to make it.
I know how you get feats
He's
even less. Yeah, well, you need
we're
like
leaving
3
now?
or 4
'Cause you
feats
got-
after
Okay.
this.
You got a feat at 1st and every...
Third.
Toss
Third.
a couple of those.
3 after.
So it's 3 in every 3rd.
Fun,
So
guys.
human
Let's go.
would have
So a
4...
non-human, a non-fighter, doesn't get 3rd feat till 6th level. And doesn't get 4th feat till 9th level.
Yeah, so it's a 1, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18.
And when you have a prestige class that needs 3 feats as prereqs,
Fucking, some of the ones out of the
like the weapon
nature
master,
one, the weapon master had a bunch. There was some for like the animal lore that each different variant required a feat, and it required feats to get into.
So it required like 2 or 3 feats.
You're talking about like heavy, and then you're talking about the skill ranks because it was your level plus 3 as the max. So that's where the plus 3 skill, class skill
Right.
bonus comes in. They just did it wonky.
Okay.
The max ranks was your level plus 3,
Mm-hmm.
and you got a lot more skills per level.
You had a lot more skills to put them into, yeah.
No, you didn't get more skills per level. The rogue was still 8 plus int.
Okay,
But at first level, it was 8 times 4.
that's what it was.
It was 8 plus int times 4.
It was, yeah, your times 4. So you could really spread them out first level. Easily put 1 on everything.
Yeah.
And then reinvest. You'd be behind in some stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
But wasn't the weapon master how Turtle got potential
think
crit
so.
range 10 through
12.
20?
It was 12.
It was 10 because it was
The Kukri.
17,
Can't
18,
wait to get my
then
throat.
proof crit, then keen, plus 2. So it was 11 numbers, which gives you a 10 through 20 crit range. And he was still missing way more than he should have because he should have the worst luck with his rolls.
Yeah. That boy's average was probably sitting around 4.5.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So you guys pop
That was
open the lid.
painful.
We're not going to get very far into this dungeon, even though it's only a couple rooms. But
That is right now.
we have like a half an hour to an hour.
Yeah.
So we'll chew through the grindy bits and then we'll pick up with
Plot bits next
the
time.
plot bits next time.
Okay.
I was really excited about this one.
So which
I was literally Googling for a picture of like the blank map of the Shackles or a solid like generic pirate map, like Maker, all that stuff. And I was just scrambling through the internet trying to find the
Yeah.
images I wanted. And I randomly went back to like the web search. I looked up like Pathfinder treasure map to see if there's a cool one because I figured like someone had made one for Shackles before. I could just take the map and put my own stuff on the
Right.
locations. And then create treasure map was a spell there, and I was like, hello, I know what I'm doing. And I eventually found a blank map of the Shackles.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's cool.
Nice.
I am excited. The walls of the curving stairway beyond are carved with disturbing imagery of coils of tentacles, seemingly without end, twisting downward into the darkness. Now and then, the tentacles are shown crushing people, ships, and in more than a few cases, entire cities and islands. Amid all of these carvings is repeatedly is an eerie symbol, an octopus eye surrounded by sinister runes. Does anyone have knowledge religion?
Sure.
Yes,
No.
Please roll good.
I got a 19.
I got 32.
Was that
You don't know shit.
your first 20 or was that a 10?
So it was my 20 here.
So,
20 here.
I
It
hope
seemed
so.
important.
It's like, hey, here's a notice about what's beyond this stairway. And they
Oh,
don't see it.
thanks.
They don't know. So the non-religion check identifies as a symbol of Dagon, the demon lord of deformity, the seas, and sea monsters.
Perfect.
Just for you to know what you're going to be getting into.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yep.
Tag on it.
You can kill yourself now. I'm not gonna stop you. So this map, in order to have, so the trap door is a secret door right here.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to have the unlabeled map completely unlabeled, I couldn't tell you where B1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are.
Oh, that is annoying. I don't.
There isn't a partial.
Yeah.
So if you look over here, there's the winding stairway.
Yeah.
That leads you to here. So this is the stairway. So you guys are now in this room.
Okay.
And I'll read you that room. So we'll just put squeak until we get into combat. The entrance hall. Patches of dull blue mold spot the walls of this room, partially obscuring a faded mural that depicts some sort of enormous amalgam of eel, fish, and cephalopod rising off the shore of an island. Opposite the entrance is a pair of patina-crusted iron posts suspended. Opposite the entrance, a pair of patina-crusted iron posts suspend a massive gold-plated disc, etched with elaborate runes. Within the center of this disc stares a grayish and bulbous, fleshy eye with a horizontally shaped pupil. Beside each post, a serpentine basin rests upon a short wooden pedestal, painted with flaking gold leaf. Within a small alcove opposite the massive disc stands a wooden statue, also painted in badly flaking gold leaf. The statue depicts the same horrid creature as shown in the mural, and holds its hands in front of its chest, clenching a fist-sized chunk of serpentine carved in the shape of a human heart. I think serpentine is green. I want to say. It's like a aqua color.
Mm-hmm.
A reinforced wooden door stands to the southwest, its hinges and metal hardware forged in shapes of fish fins and spiked gills. Iron spikes have been hammered into the perimeter of the door, presumably to hold it shut. Crudely scrawled graffiti mars the door's face. You guys took a 20. I'm going to just give you all the religion checks for this guy.
Bless you. Thank you. Come on.
A successful religion check
Step away. I'm good.
ties the decorative motifs to the worship of Dagon.
Up in the light, you're
So
saying.
not only did you see, a small carving on the way here, this place is actually decorated to worship, like you would if you were a worshiper of Dagon. The strange eye disc is the demon's unholy symbol, and the paintings are statuary representations of various cultural depictions of Dagon.
Oh.
The basins have long dried out, leaving their interiors lightly crusted with sea salt. Mitch, what do you add to perception?
What do I add to perception? 8.
Okay, roll it.
26.
You will see a lump beneath the salt in one of the basins that disguises a fist-sized chunk of serpentine. The chunk is about the same size as the statue's serpentine heart, but it's just a chunk.
Okay.
His was like a fist-ish
Okay.
size. I guess. The graffiti on the door is written with charcoal in the common tongue and simply reads, "She lives." Beneath the inscription in charcoal, beneath the inscription is a charcoal handprint with wide splayed fingers. A successful Mitch gets all these knowledge religion checks because he took a 20.
Yeah.
And that's really fun. Associates the handprint with a sect of Norgabite holy assassins who refer to the deity as Blackfingers.
Okay.
So assassins came here, and they were like, "Hey, warning, she lives."
Huh.
Uh-huh. The door leads to the next area, which is B3. Must either be forced open with damage, break DC, or Brandon auto passes a disable device check. I think he adds like a billion.
I had 30 base.
That's
Yeah.
basically a billion.
Sounds about right.
When you're trying to pull spikes out with a DC of 20 disable device, so Brandon's like, "Oh," and just starts to slowly work them out.
You can't rush art.
Why not?
So the room that's given is represented being in now. Was that description you gave with the
Yes,
statues?
and that is the
murals?
statue that has the serpentine heart.
Is that chunk of serpentine, with my appraise of 19 before a roll, is that worthwhile / removable?
Yes and yes. I'm looking up something.
Okay.
I want to see if someone has actually cut. So this one, that one in the there is an anatomically correct heart. Just to be clarified.
Oh wow, it's not the lovey-dovey heart.
That lovey-dovey heart doesn't exist.
I was gonna say,
That's a cultural thing that just didn't come out in.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what serpentine looks like.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool stone.
Nifty stone.
But yes, and okay, you want to go over here and do it. I can't do it. Ugh. Yeah, unworked, the stone probably isn't worth a whole bunch, but an actual statue is intrinsically just worth more than the raw material. So yeah.
Does it give a value for us to write down on those 2 chunks?
Oh, are you taking the other one? Because it's a roll me an appraise check. Damn, that's a heavy son of a bitch. That's way bigger than what. It's 6 inches in diameter.
Whoa.
Huge heart. Heart's supposed to be.
So it's
1/5?
anatomically correct if it's scaled up.
So I only got a
Not much.
22, but with appraise unranked, I never make wildly inaccurate appraisals.
Appraise checks aren't very high,
Oh, okay.
like ever. That's probably worth about $1,000
Oh, we'll take it.
and weighs 10 pounds.
Huh.
Okay.
I mean, I could buy that.
They don't give you an actual listed price for the unworked one, so probably like maybe $100 or so.
Okay. Oh, that's really interesting. I can see it.
I missed stuff on chat.
Apparently, the lovey-dovey heart is 2
Anatomically,
parts put together.
kinda.
I can see it originating there, especially as
Yeah.
like a symbol of like romantic love.
Mm-hmm. Which is a super simplified version.
Yeah.
And then, yes, slowly removing all the spikes out of the door so we can get in.
Okay. So. Actually, I want to show this.
Uh-oh. And he's gone.
Bye, Felicia.
I got a birthday present.
Uh-oh.
It's a halfling haversack.
Full
of baby dice.
Oh, that's great.
That is awesome.
Did one of your cousins get that for you?
Yeah. Carlos and Abby got me that.
What was it? There's the 3 different types of dice users. It was the actually the human was borrow other people's, or the halflings was. The elf was like, I have my set of dice that I use, and the goblin's like, we love many click clacks.
Alright, new dice. So, Brandon takes the serpentine heart, and the eye on the unholy symbol opens up. Mitch, what is your touch AC? It's probably not that.
We did say touch, so.
18.
Okay. Mitch, you take 3 points of wisdom damage and you have fort save.
Ow.
Oh,
Damage's given.
will save, you said?
I mean,
Yeah.
Rocket's a player had to have taken that was a bad idea, but. Hey, Rogue Bard, how's that point save of yours?
I got 14.
Oh no!
No, sorry, 13. Forgot about the wisdom damage I just took.
No, it's fort save.
Oh,
Fort
fort
save.
save. You
Yeah.
said wisdom save when
Sorry.
I asked.
I thought I said point save.
Fort save, I'm much better at those. That's a 24.
Really? Oh, wow.
Damn, how are you so good at those?
He has higher constitution than wisdom. Bard.
But
Neither of them have good.
yeah,
Oh, that's true. Now they're on good forward.
that's just a lot higher. I don't have good will either.
Do you have a great fortitude?
Well, it looks like my bases are 397, so I think they do have good forward.
397. So you have a 3 base void save. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Again, that's my reflex save. God damn it.
Oh, I was gonna say, how's that not? How's that 10
Yeah,
higher?
it's been a long day.
Well, it's been.
So what is your fort save?
13, the first one.
Okay.
So as a point that doesn't matter in this situation, but potentially could later on, as I archetyped away trap finding, I do have skill unlock for disabled device, which I think makes it so that I can disarm magical traps if they're found.
But it doesn't give you the free one within.
No, as I said, I archetyped away trap finding.
Yeah.
But
So-
I can,
Brandon grabs the 10-pound heart. You're 10 pounds heavier now, which is very relevant for you. And
I'm
Mitch,
still in light load.
you are currently an octopus.
Cool.
Initiative.
Oh, he didn't ask for a will save at least.
Should I even bother on a freaking octopus?
You might be the thing attacking us.
No.
Oh.
That would
Mitch
be
is out of combat.
hysterical.
Yeah, like,
Spencer.
Well, you can't cast spells as a. Oh wait.
you should do 19.
Damn it.
Right, Mitch's.
22.
No.
Rocco.
Hey guys, this is the
Alright.
second time this campaign I've been turned.
So
around.
I
Excuse
was.
you?
I was
Oh.
in front of the
I thought you were
statue.
taking your turn. I was like, I didn't say anything.
No.
No.
I'm placing me.
Oh, yeah.
So where did the stairs come out?
The stairs came out right here.
Alright, there.
And there's
Right
an
there.
octopus somewhere.
And then there's an octopus somewhere.
I'll go to
Well, I guess he was next to you, so he's probably like there. Up there.
So can I, without having?
damage on me?
Roll me a sense motive check.
That's not good at all.
It's going to be very low.
20.
It fired as soon as you pulled the heart out of the hands.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The 2 chunks of stone weigh about the same.
Oh, okay. All right. But point of contention or clarification. So, do I need trap finding to like have the capabilities to search for a magical trap, or does that just give me a free pass at trying to find that one? So
There's nothing that stops you from finding a trap if you're looking for it.
Okay.
They all have perception DCs.
Okay. So if I were to percept and find, then I can use my skill unlock to disarm. Got it.
Maybe put that heart in there before
Brandon?
someone else gets
I will put the unworked stone back into the chamber.
Okay.
And I will keep the worked stone for myself.
Okay. Rocco?
Why did you do that? Detect magic on him. I'm guessing it's some sort of a polymorph thingy, but yeah, well,
Transmutation.
okay.
I mean, in a couple rounds.
Yeah, that's fair.
There is magic on him. Several things are radiating.
Is it still on him?
Well, he's radiating with multiple auras because he has magic items and stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
You're at round 1. Don't get too ahead of yourself.
That's fair.
Spencer, your friend's an octopus.
What's your character doing?
Selena will be.
Oh. There, Selena. Okay. I'm gonna try and figure out a good place to like pet an octopus comfortingly.
Top.
Do you pet
Just like-
octopi?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess not.
If you can. Do you necessarily know how? Google Plus.
So,
It's okay, we don't really use Twitter. We need,
I was-
we need to get better.
I was gonna say LinkedIn, but there's a possibility that people actually use LinkedIn.
I technically
I
have
got
one.
invited to
I
LinkedIn.
don't know how to log into it.
When I started talking to like some of our suppliers, one of them was like, "Hey, add me on LinkedIn." I'm like, "I don't have that."
after Spencer gives the comforting pat, the eye closes. I should have been more specific. Once activated, the eye fires a blast of vile-smelling water at a random creature in the room.
Ugh.
Oh.
The water evaporates as quickly as it strikes. I rolled for it. I was like, if this hits Brandon, they're fucked.
No, it's okay. It was just me.
Yeah, that would have been bad. Just a bunch of octopus.
Yeah,
Or two octopi.
I assumed LinkedIn for jobs. That's not too out there. Bill, so you still have a MySpace?
Oh dear. So yes, after studying for several rounds, you do identify that he has magic items on him.
I'm glad I know that.
How did we
Wasn't
get
sure.
rid of your polymorph last time?
Remove curse.
Something like that.
Oh, duration permanent, so I guess it does have an orc. It's not instantaneous. So you do see transmutation. Do you know the sub school?
Huh?
Do you know the sub school? The tech magic?
It specifies.
Webkins.
Nice.
What about Club Penguin?
Oh, the Oest of G's.
Ooh.
What about what was the thing that they had all the me's on for like the Wii?
No clue. The weeb site.
What does it say? Sub school? So I think it's school.
Ooh, love penguin.
Say so school.
I just don't think it's that good.
Where is Club Penguin? My heart.
Okay. Unfortunately, I left my heart in San Francisco.
You do get the. I am going to tell you one of the 4 powers of aura.
Can't tell if she's
Because
hitting
it's
a Club
going to
Penguin
be
or not.
radiating from the eye as well.
She might be.
I want now like every encounter somehow Mitch to get turned into something else.
Eh.
And I'm waiting for the one encounter where somehow Mitch turns into like a fully functioning Minotaur.
Ooh.
So like he still does all of his Selena stuff while being a Minotaur.
Sick.
So yeah, it is moderate strength at the transmutation school.
Seems like some sort of polymorph effect.
And did you make? I'm assuming you made your knowledge arcana check. To the strength and location of each or the item you can make a knowledge arcana check to determine the school of magic involved in each.
Well, apparently no, then.
You can attempt to identify its properties if an or emanates from a magic item. You can so because it's a magical travel state's magic item, you can use spellcraft.
Well, I went.
Well, why doesn't Carla, Selena just use knowledge arcana and tell her? Oh.
And then you get the transmutation. I mean transmutation within the spell levels of 4 through 6.
So all you gotta do is take that feat that lets you cast spells while you're an animal, and you're good to go. We are a pirate campaign, anyways. And as always, here's pirate Lord Selena and her tank.
Oh, that's mean.
Can't breathe.
No, I gave him an octopus on purpose to not do that. So you have like fucking shot put him off top of a tower. A victim that is so
Great
transforms
water, great.
automatically takes the mental facilities of the new form. You're an octopus right now.
I'm just an octopus right
Yeah.
now.
Did you fail the baleful polymorph?
No,
2 levels 2 last time?
I think so, yeah.
Yes. Well,
This time it was completely random.
believe it or not, I don't just have remove curse prepared.
And we have any fucking monsters.
And so we decided to back off and come back later.
I mean, there is one more room.
Carl out there like trying to pick up an octopus.
Do octopi have a climb speed?
Probably.
It would make sense that they do, which is why I asked, but probably not.
I don't think so. I think it's just octopus can reach really far.
That's what I was afraid of.
You want to be a new bracelet?
So you are wholeheartedly an octopus right now with an insane amount of hit dice.
Hell yeah.
The three of us could just go upstairs and camp out until Zonra gets new spells.
Well, your guy might be dead.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we're trioing the rest of this dungeon.
So, the 3, which is this next little dungeon part. I think we're gonna do this one and then end for the night.
So someone doesn't get his tentacles all tied up.
You guys better keep a watch on me. I'm just an octopus at this point. I will go who knows where.
Apparently you get a sick octopus hat though.
No, he gets to be.
I get to be
sick
a sick octopus.
A guiding row of black iron candle
Pretty
holders
sure
protrudes
I
from the
emphasize
curving
that.
southwestern wall, their
Jack-
candles
Jack
long since
Stack.
melted into foul-scented yellowish tallow lumps. Behind the candles, flaking plaster laid in the shape of fish scales exposes a rough stone wall beneath. Within a shallow alcove at the end of the hall sits a serpentine statue carved in the shape of a naked male human being devoured by tiny flesh-boring eels. Flesh-boring eels that wind their hungry way through every part of his body, save for an area over the center of his chest.
Probably where her heart is.
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh, no. 17.
31.
You actually get to see that behind it is stairs.
Nice.
You said how much?
31.
You also note that the section in the center of the statue's chest that's devoid of eels looks like it rotates.
Don't.
It looks like it's movable.
What does it look like? A certain stone that I have would fit into it?
So there's eels everywhere,
Yeah.
and there's like a circle that doesn't have eels in it, and it looks like you could turn and push it and stuff.
All right, so I will do a perception check on the statue, specifically for traps to start off with.
Yeah, have you told us about the fact that it stopped when you put the heart back in? Because I was looking at an octopus.
Well, I think we can visually see the eye open and closed.
Well,
But you guys
he
didn't
has to
notice.
tell us about
Yeah.
the
Oh.
correlation.
I'm rolling that. He didn't tell you. You guys could have just triggered a trap
Yeah.
by being in here long enough.
Okay.
Because you guys weren't in here long. It was description of the room,
Mm-hmm.
do a thing. And it was while you guys were searching the room that Mitch found the object. So your first actual approved action was, I want that one. Mitch doesn't exist.
So yeah, so I'll roll this perception on the statue. So I rolled a 19 on the die, so that's a 40. Do I see traps?
My PDF just froze.
Oh. Well, I don't know what threats you're supposed to make. I only know the meme of I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
So you detect a trap, but you think that its trigger is bypassing the statue incorrectly. The trigger doesn't seem to be fiddling with the statue directly. It seems to be getting past the statue not the right way. There is a trap. But from where the trap is located, you're like, I don't think that's...
And I see no disarm points then.
Well, it's a magical trap, so...
As I said, I can disarm magical traps.
Yeah. You disarm it.
And do I
Disarm
take
it.
a minus to that? 5 rings. You can disarm magical traps at a -10 paladinity even if you lack the trap finding ability.
Then roll.
So that's the -10.
You rolled a
33.
You made it.
Okay. So it disarms the magical trap.
Yep. The statue's still in front of you.
Okay. And does it look like you have to like put your hand in there to turn the thing with the statue, or?
You're gonna have to start playing with it. The only thing you can see with your eyeballs without touching the statue is that circle that does not have eels on it moves.
Okay.
In some way.
If I would prefer to find if there's any sort of debris, maybe I'll go back upstairs and see if I can find like a sturdier stick to try to move and
It goes in.
It
It
goes
turns and goes in.
Okay.
I want to speed this up. It's 10 o'clock. I want to get through some of the stuff. So it clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
I'll go to the wall point where I think the stairs are then. Is there any way for me to open it after it clicks?
Nope. You could just basically saw that through the ages enough of a crack was revealed of erosion where you're like, oh, this somehow opens because there's stairs.
Guess I'll. Does it seem like the heart that I have fits into the circle?
Yep.
Okay. Put it in.
Placing the heart into this hollow causes the statue to slide harmlessly aside, providing access to the stairway behind, without triggering the trap.
Nice.
Da-da-da-da.
And then onward and upward, or downward.
Okay. I'm gonna close all the things. Gonna double check what B4 is. You guys go down the stairs to the one that way.
I assume we're just leaving the octopus there.
The octopus does whatever the octopus wants. I don't think any of you have to handle animals to tell the octopus what to do.
That's what I said. I think we're just leaving the octopus there.
Huge, once lavish tapestries hang from the circular chambers. Although the curtains are now sodden and thick with yellowish fungus, the floor in the northwestern portion of the chamber has crumbled away into the chamber below, leaving behind a gaping hole and significant cracks and fissures in the remaining mold-encrusted floor. A few furnishings remain, including the moldering remnants of chairs decorated with gold leaf, a wooden table ornately carved with eclectic motifs and draped with rotten silken cloth. A tall clay statue sculpted in the image of a bloated fish-like humanoid stands to the south, also covered with mold. A few feet away, another flight of stairs descend deeper into the lower chamber exposed by the collapsed floor. Does anyone have knowledge engineering? Only you were here.
If only one of our 3 skill bots didn't get turned into an octopus.
Oh,
No!
Damn it. What a tragic.
Margie wants me to drown all of you.
Why?
Well, good luck.
Yeah, actually.
We're the only drowned 3 of us.
Wait, I guess Mitch brings up a valid point. In game or in real life?
She didn't specify.
Okay.
I'm going to assume in game. Because I have a much better chance of not drowning in game.
Well, that's awkward.
Oh, it's at this point that I don't know if Metapesto was a pun or a mistype.
It's a pun.
It's definitely a pun.
So we left the octopus to do its own thing,
It's real big.
and I'm going to
fish,
vote that
street
it
light
doesn't
manifest.
come down here. Everybody roll forward save.
Those are not my strong point.
Gosh dang it. As you guys get to...
Lots of damage.
Wow.
Good job, guys.
We all rolled balls. 17.
12.
14.
Rock passes.
Well, that's convenient.
Have fun. Anyways, that's so tiny.
It sounds sort of. Strap your trigger on us. Yeah, tiny face.
You two take 2 con.
That is absolutely no bueno.
You start coughing. The mold in here is quite thick.
Well.
Gross.
I love getting worse at the save that I just made.
That you just failed? Yeah, I know. That's the annoying thing about con damage with fortitude saves. It's just like, in which it does make sense as you get the whatever, you do become more susceptible to continue getting it,
yeah.
but
Yes.
It can definitely be annoying from a player's perspective.
guess what, guys? Guess what? My max
Sorry.
hit points now 69.
You moved here. That's why I did it. Right, let's figure in the room. That floor collapses, and we land here,
There.
and then we get the save for the mold.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what happened. Yeah. There's a percent chance that when you walk into the room. So we're just gonna do it all now. Just so that I can get this out of the way. So we aren't gonna fight those critters.
Oh, okay.
But we're gonna fall into the B5, I think it is. Yeah. What triggers it? Roll 5 fort saves.
Oh.
All of you.
So 15 probably fail.
66.
21.
Huh?
What's the numbers? We can just tell you how many passes.
15.
Oh, so I pass.
So I had 26 on the first one.
Okay.
One
And I
fail.
rolled the 1 on the next one.
I pass all of them.
One
I have
fail.
22,
One fail.
24, and 12. You said it was 15 to pass?
Mhm.
So 2 failures. And it was 5, correct?
5 fort saves, yeah.
So yeah, 3 successes, 2 passes. Or 2 fails.
So you'll take 3, you'll take 4.
On. Normal.
Yep. And then the mold starts affecting you.
So it went from that +2 to that -1.
Yay.
So now I'm down another 22 hit points.
So I will read the room description and then we'll end here.
47 max health.
Rubble from the collapsed ceiling fills the center of this room, which is shaped like 3/4 of a circle. The walls bear scorch marks and the plaster shows severe cracks. To the southeast, 2 eerie ivory statues stand on either side of a closed door. These statues are carved in the forms of handsome men that have been bound, gagged, and blindfolded. Both heads turned inward to face each other. The statues seem strangely moist, as if they had been just pulled from the sea. Oh, and that's all difficult terrain. Just roll. Hey, if we had the knowledge religion guy here, he'd know that thing.
I have religion. I just sucked at it last time. 28.
Hey. Identify the statues as depictions of Maok and Seft, twin sons of the fabled Mad Mwangi priest king Arot Sheb, as described in the epic poem Tides of Ishiar. In the legend, Arot Sheb sacrificed his sons to Dagon by lashing them to a drowning pole at low tide. The following day, the priest king drank the seawater from his drowned son's lungs as part of an unholy ritual. Soon after, he received guidance from Dagon that enabled him to not only conquer the fabled crystal isles of Zerasia off the Garun's west coast, but also to whisk them away to Dagon's abyssal realm of Ishiar as offerings to the demon lord.
That's some dark ritual.
Yeah.
other octopus.
And I can't breathe.
Why can't you breathe? You're not an octopus.
You have
It's
minus
okay.
4 and I have minus 5 con. What's your con right now total?
Right now I'm at 8.
Oh, I'm at 9.
He can also rage and get it back to a positive number.
I'm at 16.
I'm at 16.
Because I think I'm the only one in the party with it. Well, actually, what's Spencer's for?
One of you will betray me tonight.
Spencer.
Is it
What's
me,
your fortitude?
Jesus? No, it is not.
What do you got
Before
for
the
Is it me,
damage.
Jesus? No, it is not. Is it me, Jesus? Is it me, Jesus?
What class are you?
Oh, you rogue.
Yeah. He's a rogue with like a, normally it's like a 12 con, 14
Yeah.
con.
Alright, well, let's all wave bye-bye.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hope you had a good night.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.